You are watching. Me Empress Bird got a shock. Now I'm minted. His mate said, wasn't Senior outside the trial? The third great sage said, the one left outside is just a remnant. I'm the real trial examiner. Ning Tian realized. So that's why she looks similar to that little girl. The third great sage announced, the third trial consists of the ancient tree behind me. You'll form a team of 10. The ancient tree'll give birth to a corresponding number of light specks with weapons in 'em. There'll be different spiritual weapons and an immortal weapon among 'em. A bloke said, correspond in number, so everyone gets one? Another said, yes, if you're lucky you could get the immortal one. The third great sage added, within a stick of incense, only the one who gets the immortal weapon will survive. A guy shouted, what? Another said, if we don't get the immortal weapon, we're dead. His friend said, doesn't that mean 9 must die? Ning Tian said, the meaning is that the path towards becoming a god is by destroying the Emperor's path, right? The third great sage asked, did you notice something? Ning Tian continued the battle to become a god. Countless strong cultivators fought one after another to reach that goal. Some couldn't even reach the battlefield. Senior wishes to recreate that battle, right? It's just that the path towards God's path has been changed to that immortal weapon. The trip from shore to the lake's heart is only a few dozen miles at most, but you gave us 1 stick of incense. I suppose there's something else waiting in the lake that'd be interesting, besides watching us kill each other. The third great sage laughed. Ha ha ha, boy, you make me like you more and more. Then the third stage shall begin with you. She kicked off the trial and they all felt intense pressure. Ning Tian thought, 6 righteous disciples and 3 strong celestial realm cultivators. They must be full of ill intentions. I must stay cautious. The jaundiced bloke thought, there's always a way if you wait. Ning Tian, you're destined to die by my hands today. The third great sage said, I've got 3 more things to remind you of. First, after the third stage starts, you won't be able to see the weapons inside the light specks. Second, once you touch a light speck, it's locked. You can't change your mind, and it can't be nicked. Third, if time runs out and you haven't touched one, you fail, and you don't need to guess the consequences. Now, begin. A bloke scoffed. Ha! What's all that about destroying the Emperor's path to become a god? Such pretentious twaddle. Just watch me. Suddenly he spotted a huge monster and yelped. What's that? He managed to dodge it and used water dragon step. Ning Tian thought, phew, didn't expect monsters in the lake. He looked behind and thought, a sneak attack, and dodged. An elder snarled. You actually avoided 2 consecutive attacks. Ning Tian, you're so resilient. Ning Tian retorted, I was wondering who it was. Turns out it's the Lin bastard who's got his eye on other blokes' wives. The elder pointed and said, Ning Tian, you're only a 4-star Earth King realm. The weakest among us are at the same level, and young Master Xiaoyao's even an 8-star. We'll definitely end your life today. His mate added, Ning Tian, don't worry, after you die. Ning Tian snapped, you've got a death wish. His aura raged, a system prompt. Sword Dao activated. An old geezer gasped, how's that brat so quick? His mate yelled, quickly circulate your aura. A system prompt. Elementary Earth rank martial art. Sword tracing shadow activated. Your sword follows your will. Ning Tian moved fast and slashed the cultivators one by one. An elder gawped. He killed 5 people in an instant. How's that kid so strong? Ning Tian said, how can you lose your calm during a battle? He used heavenly demonic palm, and the jaundiced bloke got cured. The yellow in his eyes exited his body from the attack, and he got chucked towards the monster and eaten alive. Ling Ao's mate said, so strong. He wiped out 6 people in the blink of an eye. Ling Ao nodded. The patriarch's the best. Ning Tian looked behind and thought, damn it, Lin Xiaoyao delayed me too much. They've already made their choice. System? Activate treasure hunt card. A system prompt. Treasure hunt card activated. Time 1 hour. Ning Tian thought, no, that's the immortal weapon. Who'll snatch it? He shouted. The immortal weapon. The old man stared at him and muttered, "How did he know that's the immortal weapon? This boy's the heavenly demonic sect's patriarch. He must have a way to hunt for treasures given to him by the Empress. That must really be the immortal weapon." He attacked Ning Tian, cackling, "Ha ha ha, sorry about that." Ning Tian dodged and retorted, "I saw it first," the old man said, "but I got to it first." Another cultivator exclaimed, "Damn it, he picked the immortal weapon." His mate said, "He's so sloppy." Ning Tian said, "Ah, now that it's come to it, I can only begrudgingly choose the actual immortal weapon." The others were shocked. "What?" The light intensified as Ning Tian grabbed it and declared indeed the intermediate stage immortal weapon, Great Immortal Wuqing. The old cultivator shouted, "Bastard, you tricked me. This immortal weapon was meant to be mine." Ning Tian shrugged, "But I got to it first." The old man spat, "You're the heavenly demonic sect's patriarch. How can you be so shameless and despicable? Your sect's lost all its face because of you." Ning Tian replied, "There's no such thing as shame when you do what you can to succeed. Weren't you the same after all?" The old cultivator spat strawberry juice. Ling Ao said, "One sentence from the patriarch was enough to make a Sky King realm cultivator spit blood, worthy of his title, so amazing." His mate said, "If I had the patriarch's shameless spirit, I'd definitely lead the Tianbao Holy Land to become the richest power. A system prompt. You slightly shocked everyone. Awarded title, The Shameless. Effect, increased character defense." Ning Tian muttered, "Ha, what the hell's this title? A system prompt. The host shouldn't be surprised. Anything you can imagine, this system can do." The other cultivators charged at Ning Tian, and one yelled, "Brat, even if I die, I'll catch you." Suddenly they got sliced in half and groaned, "Ugh!" The third great sage said, "The stage is over. According to the rules, only one shall survive." She addressed Ning Tian, "You actually found the real immortal weapon. I underestimated your skills." Ning Tian asked, "What? You can't bear to part with it? You didn't say we have to return it." She snapped, "Who do you think I am? Wait here till the others pass their test." Ning Tian thought. She said it's a 3-stage trial, but who knows what she's got up her sleeve. Better make the immortal weapon recognize me as its master as sap to ensure my safety. He dropped blood onto the great immortal Wuqing and felt summit. He thought, looks like the master of a Tao of music immortal weapon is directly bound by the soul. Not only that, but its attack also damages the opponent's soul. Truly an immortal weapon. A system prompt. The host's perception of the Tao of music increased. Ning Tian thought, wait, if the immortal weapon's bound by the soul, then when I used Yaoqi Saint's Wuqing, didn't I actually touch her body? He imagined touching her as she moaned. "Ah, patriarch, no," he blushed. "It's just a soul connection, not a true touch." Nothing an hour later the survivors gathered. Ning Tian remarked, "So few left." The third great sage said, "Yes, 5 left, better than expected." Ling Ao's mate said, "Finally over." Ling Ao asked, "Can we leave now?" The third great sage warned, "Don't celebrate too early. Next is the final stage." The others gawped. "There's more." Ning Tian said, "Just as I expected, it doesn't end." The third great sage declared, "Void transpose. This is something only a great emperor can use if you pass the last stage. The inheritance and all the treasures in the tomb shall be yours." Everyone gasped. The great emperor's inheritance? An old geezer said, "Great emperor, I want to try." Another added, "Yes, no matter what, we want to join." The third great sage announced, "The last stage is to kill me." They were all shocked. The old geezer spluttered, "What?" Ning Tian asked. "Is Senior serious? It's impossible for us to join forces and kill you with our current strength." The third great sage became serious and said, "No, not by joining forces." She held up one finger. "1-on-1, kill the third great sage." The old man with the moustache said, How's that even possible? Lukun at the peak of the Sky King realm added, Yes. How strong are we compared to you, senior? The third great sage said, Before I became a great emperor, I was invincible in my realm. I'll suppress my power to your level. I won't take advantage. The old man said, Senior'll suppress her power to our level. Lukun replied, In that case, there's a chance of winning. The third great sage said, If you hesitate, you'll fail, Ning Tian added, but decisiveness don't guarantee victory. Motivated, Lukun declared, I, Lukun, at the peak of the Sky King realm, wish to fight you, senior. The third great sage responded, Then I'll suppress my power to the peak of the Sky King realm at the age of 20 and fight you. Ning Tian thought, System, she's not much older than me, but she's already at the peak of the Sky King realm. Then why am I only at 4-star Earth King? A system prompt replied, Host age don't mean a thing. Have you ever seen anyone cross 4 realms in a few months, from 1-star warrior to 4-star Earth King? Ning Tian admitted, You've got a point. Lukun charged, Excuse me, and attacked Yelpin so fast, as the third great sage evaded. She remarked, You're too slow, slapped his back, and he spat cranberry juice. She played with his body before dropping him. Ling Ao gasped. She effortlessly killed a master of the same realm with one blow. His mate added, Her being invincible within the realm was no exaggeration. Ning Tian commented, That Tao of the palm. I didn't expect the third great sage to have already reached mastery at the Sky King realm. The third great sage asked, Who's next? As the room fell silent, the old man with the moustache muttered, No, I can't do this, I'll die. Ning Tian said, Senior, I'd like to fight. The third great sage laughed, Ah, boy, I've been waiting for this. Ling Ao gasped, What a strong palm strike. Senior in the Earth King realm is already so strong. Can the Patriarch handle this? Ning Tian replied, Senior, although you're known to be invincible within the realm. She cut him off. You can't pass me. A system prompt, sound-breaking art activated. The third great sage exclaimed, Yaoqi's sound-breaking art also has a spiritual effect. Another prompt, You shocked the third great sage. Earned ultimate killing sound array, 10-fold comprehension activated. Comprehension complete. The third great sage said, Interesting. For so long I've killed each opponent with one strike. I didn't expect you'd require a second. Ning Tian grinned. Hey, the unexpected's yet to come, and use the ultimate killing sound array. The third great sage thought, This is the martial arts skill I created at the immortal emperor realm. How'd that boy learn it? Ning Tian said, Spiritual attacks suppress the spirit, and she screamed in pain. He taunted, Hey, while you're down, I'll end you. She gasped, Ah, what are you doing? Ning Tian suddenly grabbed her like a baby and slapped her bum, scolding, Little brat, I've wanted to beat you up for ages. He kept slapping as she moaned in pleasure. It's fun to play tricks on others, ain't it? The old man with the moustache said, Fierce. Ling Ao's mate added, Vigorous. Ling Ao agreed, The Patriarch's truly vigorous. The third great sage regained her composure, snapped, Boy you are. Then, with sudden seriousness, Dead, she slapped his face, sending him flying into the ground. Ling Ao shouted, Patriarch, you all right? Ning Tian sat up, grumbling. Damn it. Don't you know you shouldn't hit a bloke in the face? I thought I was going to get disfigured. Ling Ao and his mate smiled nervously. The third great sage said, Boy, you got some top-quality material on your face. I punched you with all my might, and it's still fine, Ning Tian thought. System, does my title, The Shameless, add defense to my face? The system replied, A little bit, Ning Tian said confidently. Of course, you can only be invincible if you've got face. What? The third great sage questioned. Senior, I won, didn't I? She laughed. Ha ha ha, good, very good. Suddenly the ground shook. A person exclaimed, Earthquake! Suddenly Ning Tian got surrounded by a barrier. Ling Ao and his mate shouted, Patriarch! The third great sage declared, "The third great sage's legacy finally has a successor, the third great sage's inheritance." Suddenly, Ning Tian got absorbed into her sphere. He asked, "Is this the great emperor's inheritance space?" The third great sage replied, "You're clever. This is the sphere containing my inheritance, all my life's work. Whoever gets it would be very fortunate." Ning Tian asked, "So the third great sage's inheritance can let me soar up into the skies?" She said, "Ah, that depends on your luck." He asked, "Can it let me directly reach the immortal emperor realm?" She answered, "No." He pressed, "The celestial realm?" She said, "No." He sighed, "That won't do. Seems something's not adding up." She grumbled, "You brat." Who? Don't get mad. Don't get mad at his attitude. Adults shouldn't bother with a child's behavior. It's better to teach a man to fish than give him thief. My inheritance is much more valuable than one that simply grants power. I'm called the third great sage because I've reached the level of sage in the Tao of the palm, fist, and music. He asked, "Tao can turn one into a sage. Ain't the highest realm of the Tao the pinnacle? How can there be a sage?" She said, "Are you saying there's no way? Does anyone really think the highest realm of the Tao is the pinnacle?" He thought, "I need to practice patience." She continued, "Now, no more teasing. For those below the great emperor, the highest realm of the Tao is indeed the pinnacle. In the great emperor's realm, there's also the level of sage. And for the strong ones of the god realm, there's even higher levels." He thought in awe, so that's how it is. When competing with opponents of the same realm, the comparison ain't just through aura, but also through understanding of the Tao. The stronger your understanding, the more likely you are to be invincible within the realm. He asked, "Senior, once you reach the great emperor, can your understanding of the Tao reach the level of sage?" She nodded. "Yes, inside of my mastered Tao of the fist and palm. Take this and see how much you can understand." He said, "2. What about your Tao of music?" She coughed, embarrassed. "Ahem, I'm reluctant to admit this, but your Tao of music is remarkable." He teased, "I see, it's not much better than mine. No need for embarrassment." She fumed silently. "This brat is truly horrible." She threw the spheres at him. "Ha, I won't waste my time talking with you, little rascal. Go learn properly." The spheres struck his temple. He felt empowered, saying, "I feel full of power," as he hovered. She observed, "I wonder how far this kid can reach." He reflected, "The wind of the fist is roaring, the wind of the fist is whistling. With such accomplishments, she's worthy of the title of third great sage." A system prompt. It's detected that the host has absorbed the Tao of the fist and palm. Tenfold comprehension. Comprehending ding. Successful comprehension of the Tao of the fist. Understanding, proficient. Successful comprehension of the Tao of the palm. Understanding, proficient. He smiled softly. "Who?" she asked. "How is it?" He said modestly, "Thank you, senior, I'm not qualified enough." She said, "It's okay, it's not even half an hour. The important thing's the feeling. With your talent, it's already considered very quick to understand within a few months." He thought, "It's only reached the level of proficiency. I thought I could reach the pinnacle in one go." She encouraged, "Don't be too discouraged." Suddenly she gasped, "What? You've understood it. You're proficient?" She continued, "What? It took me 10 years, but it took you only half an hour." She thought, "From ancient times, no one's ever heard of a genius who can reach such a level of understanding in half an hour. If this boy becomes a great emperor, he'll surely enter the god realm." She warned, "Brat, don't tell anyone you reached that level in half an hour, even if a strong great emperor's got your back." He asked, "Why?" She explained, "This world ain't just composed of the 3 heavens and 9 spiritual domains. There's many other unnamed vast lands. There's even restricted regions that can kill strong emperors in seconds." He wondered, "Is there another continent in this world?" She probed, "Boy, do you know what your godly physique is?" He said, "This junior don't know much about it." She explained, "Throughout the ages, most cultivators relied on comprehension of basic heaven and earth laws, like wind, fire, thunder, and lightning. The godly physique comprehends those basic laws far better than an ordinary person, and in later stages, it also has the ability to master advanced laws. He asked, like, the law of life? She nodded. The law that controls life and death. It's rumored someone with a godly physique can deprive a great emperor of their life. She asked, do you understand now why I told you not to tell anyone? He said, if I don't get stronger, I may be killed. She approved, you're worthy to be taught. She took out a book and said, this is a heavenly rank skill I created myself. It's suitable for you to cultivate. He hesitated, but I already have a skill. He thought, God's record is a God-rank skill that matches my godly physique. I can't cultivate other skills with it. She grinned. What if I told you it cultivates all 3,000 great Taos to the level of sage? He gasped. All? New skill? The third great sage said. If I'm not mistaken, you're practicing the 3,000 great Tao, right? He said. Yes, but what's that got to do with senior skills? She explained. There's a saying, a tiger can devour 8 deer, but not each one can be swallowed whole. The more paths of Tao, the harder it is to move forward. In the future, you might reach the pinnacle at best. Even that'll be difficult. He asked, seniors mastered the Tao of the fist, palm and music, all 3 at sage level. Is that 'cause of the skills? She nodded. Yes, as they say, Tao makes 1, 1 makes 2, 2 makes 3, and 3 makes all things. Your physique's compatible with my skills. They'll help elevate your comprehension to sage level, or even higher. By then, as someone who's reached sage level in the 3,000 great Tao, if even stronger people appear, wouldn't that still shock the whole world? He thought, it seems like this is more of a guidance secondary skill. It won't conflict with God's record. She reassured him, don't worry, I've no intention of harming you. I just don't wish for my skills to be lost. With your physique, practice in the 2 skills won't be hard. Boy, practice well. When you succeed, you'll naturally escape this state. He vowed, Senior, rest assured, I won't let these skills go to waste. A system prompt. Host has absorbed comprehension of the third great sage's skills. 10-fold comprehension. Outside, Yaochi Saint asked, why haven't they returned yet? Are they in danger? The Supreme Elder said, Patriarch, please be safe. Otherwise, how can we face the Empress? An old cultivator sneered. He's just a disciple of the Earth King realm. How'll he come out alive? In your dreams. Suddenly the others got thrown out of the trial, shouting, Ah! The third great sage announced, the trial is over. Yaochi Saint asked, Senior? She replied, I found a proper successor. Yaochi Saint asked, Senior, could it be the successors among us 3? What about the Patriarch? Is he dead? The Supreme Elder knelt, crying, No, it's impossible. How could our Patriarch be gone? The old cultivator laughed. Ha ha! I knew this had happened. How could a little brat of the Earth King realm get so lucky every time? The Supreme Elder shouted at the third great sage, Old woman, just you wait. If our Patriarch's dead, 'cause of you, I'll turn your tomb upside down thousands of times, and the Empress'll grind your bones to dust and scatter 'em. The third great sage's face aged as she said, Did I say he's dead? That boy's accepting my inheritance. The Supreme Elder gasped, Inheritance a cultivator cut in, aren't these holy sons the ones who got the inheritance? She said, Of course not. Yaochi Saint smiled. Senior, does that mean the Patriarch's still alive and got your inheritance? She confirmed, Yes. The Supreme Elder hollered, I knew it. Ha ha ha. The other old farts fumed. He continued, I knew our Patriarch wouldn't die so easily. One of the old farts demanded, Senior, now the successor's found, shouldn't you let us go? She said sternly, None of you are allowed to leave till the boy completely comprehends the inheritance. He blustered, Why? His mate added, What if the kid needs 10 years and we all starve to death here? She glared and said, What about it? Don't forget who's got the final say in this place. He tried to argue. You... Suddenly she shot a beam at him. His friend yelled, What's going on? She thought, he's already comprehended it in half an hour. The sphere cracked and opened, revealing Ning Tian inside, eyes still shut. Suddenly, he stepped out and said, "Thank you, Senior." As his eyes glowed blue, she remarked, "You comprehended my inheritance in half an hour, though you were just a step away from the Sky King realm. Sigh, you did well." Ling Ao's mate gasped. 9-star Earth King realm? He was only 4-star when he entered the tomb. Yao Qi's saint marveled. In just a few hours he's broken through 5 times. Ling Ao sweated, thinking, not much time's passed, and he's already just 1 star behind me. His speed of cultivation and improvement's terrifying. The Supreme Elder exclaimed, "Our patriarch's indeed the best." The third great sage said, "Since my inheritance has been earned, I'll fulfill my promise. You can all leave here alive." Then she added, "Right, boy. This ring contains all the tomb's treasures. It's yours now," he said respectfully. "Thank you, Senior." Ling Ao gasped. All the treasures his mate said dear. He got both the inheritance and the treasures. "Patriarch, you're really fortunate this time." The old cultivator thought, this time all righteous disciples were annihilated during the hunt. His mate whispered, "He's growing too quick. He may interrupt our plan in the future." They both thought, eyes turning pink, this child mustn't be allowed to grow. One of them suddenly addressed the third great sage. "Senior, please keep your promise and let us go." He thought, as long as we leave this cursed place, Ning Tian'll die with no proper burial. She replied, "Right, the inheritance has been given, and the remaining soul of this senior won't hold much longer. After that, this tomb will rest underground forever. Go." He bowed and said, "Thank you, Senior." She smiled and said, "I feel uncomfortable with you suddenly being so polite, boy." She descended and added, "Yes, I've one more thing to ask. Can you take my bones back to Yao Qi? I want to be buried with her." Yao Qi Saint asked, "Senior, by her, are you referring to Great Santess Yao Xuan? Between her and Senior, and with that, it was the third great sage's time. In the past, the third great sage concentrated her cultivation at the waterfalls." Yao Xuan suddenly pressed her chest against the third great sage's shoulders and said, "Little sage, you came to the immortal spring to cultivate again." As she hugged her and grabbed her breasts, the third great sage responded, "Yes, you work so hard. Why don't I help you relax now?" She played with her breasts, pushing them high, and the third great sage exclaimed, "Hey, Yao Xuan." A few moments later, the third great sage pushed her down and said, "Don't cause trouble." As she was on top, pushing their chests together, Yao Xuan got excited. After a few moments of getting wet, the third great sage said, "The heavenly Tao's about to open the path toward becoming a god. Both of us have been stagnant in the immortal emperor realm for ages. I must work hard to deserve walking down the path and then becoming a god." Yao Xuan said, "Don't worry." As she held the third great sage's face, she continued, "The path you're working toward, I'll accompany you back in the present." The third great sage said, "Later, there was bloodshed and many corpses on that path. After Yao Xuan and I parted ways, we didn't see each other again." Yao Qi Saint said, "Senior." Ning Tian suddenly made a sign like Ultraman and said, "Senior, may I ask how Senior Yao Xuan helped you relax? As a boy, I also want to know enthusiastically." She snapped, "Boy, believe it or not, I'll make sure you stay here with me forever." He scratched his head and said, "I just wanted to lighten up the gloomy atmosphere." The old lady cultivator said, "Senior, please rest assured, we'll fulfill the great emperor's last wish." The third great sage said, "Boy, don't waste my inheritance." He said, "Don't worry, Senior. I'll definitely make your skills famous throughout the whole domain." Her body lit up and she said, "Yao Xuan, here I come." As she vanished into thin air, Yao Qi Saint said, "Patriarch, since we promised to bring Senior back to Yao Qi, do you also wish to come with us?" He thought, "If I don't go home after I'm done here, my wife will definitely rip me to pieces." But it's the sage. Rejecting her like this'd be a bit. As the Supreme Elder gave him a sign, he said, "Okay," and Yaoqi Saint waited for his reply, making a cute face. The Supreme Elder coughed and said, Patriarch, now that you've got the inheritance, to prevent others trying to steal it, it's better to return to the heavenly demonic sect as soon as possible." Ning Tian gave him a thumbs up and said, "Oh yes, Grand Elder, you're right." He said to Yaoqi Saint, "Saint, I'm sorry, I'll definitely visit next time." She was shocked and said, "Ha, okay." Suddenly the structure began to collapse. Yaoqi Saint lost her balance and pressed her body against him, moaning, "Ah!" He got a peek of her chest. His eyes widened, and he immediately moved away, saying, "Saint, you should stay here and protect the tomb. Grand Elder, let's go and check what's going on." The Supreme Elder obediently said, "Yes." As they moved quickly, the Supreme Elder said, "A black dragon mount. Who's that?" "Bold." Tianfeng cackled, "Ahaha, you're finally out, you bastard." The Supreme Elder said, "Tianfeng, Jianmei, what are you doing? Do you wish to steal the inheritance?" Tianfeng said, "We not only want your inheritance," Jianmei added, "but your life too." As they got aggressive, the Supreme Elder showed off his intense aura and said, "Just the two of you. You'll have to see if I'll let you." Tianfeng said, "A peak celestial close to the immortal Emperor realm. You're very strong indeed." Jianmei said, "But your opponent ain't us." Suddenly, someone arrived, and the Supreme Elder gasped, "First Sword Sect's leader, Benevolent Sword." He then said, "You dare speak my name?" and held the Supreme Elder with his aura, shooting a beam that sent him flying. Ning Tian rushed over and said, "Grand Elder, are you okay?" The Supreme Elder said, "Patriarch, run. He's a true immortal emperor." Benevolent Sword sneered, "You're the heavenly demonic sect's patriarch." Ning Tian thought, "Damn it, such bad luck. I always stumble upon these strong immortal emperors." Benevolent Sword said, "Ha! An Earth King realm trash," and attacked Ning Tian. Tianfeng thought, "Ha ha ha, the brat's finally gonna die." As the beam hit Ning Tian's forehead, it exploded. A few moments later, the dust cleared, and Tianfeng gasped, "What happened? A second star immortal emperor realm couldn't kill a mere Earth King realm." Ning Tian thought, "System, ain't my facial defense a bit too high?" A system prompt replied, "Generally yes, but the host needs to be aware that if any other part of your body, except the face, gets attacked, it'll be sliced up like tofu at the slightest touch." Benevolent Sword scoffed, "Don't believe such nonsense. A mere Earth King realm." He attacked Ning Tian, exclaiming, "I can't harm you." Ning Tian thought, "Damn it, you mean I have to take this with my face? It's so fast, no way to catch it." Benevolent Sword sneered, "Arrogant brat," as Ning Tian blocked his attack, getting thrown away and spitting grape juice. He groaned, "Ah!" as he tried to stand. Yaoqi Saint hurried to him and asked, "Patriarch, are you okay?" Benevolent Sword thought in shock. He, a mere Earth King realm, was affected by the aftershock of my attack while standing so close, but he didn't sustain a heavy injury. Ning Tian wiped the grape juice and said, "I'm fine." A system prompt, "You shocked, Benevolent Sword. Reward earned, teleportation card." Another prompt, "Teleportation card, short distance shift movement, one-time use." Suddenly, the third great sage appeared and declared, "How dare a mere quasi-emperor harm my heir?" Benevolent Sword sneered, "So it's the third great sage's tomb, but even if you were an emperor in your lifetime, what of it? You're dead now. How many moves can a mere spirit achieve? Watch out, I'll grind you to dust." The third great sage retorted, "Ah, you crazy man, I'll kill you in a few moves." "Boy, watch carefully. I'll show you, for the last time, the fist and palm skills." Ning Tian said, "This junior is watching." She then said, "The palm must be strong enough to move through mountains and rivers." Benevolent Sword stared in shock, exclaiming, Such strong suppression. He used his skill, 10,000 swords shield, and their powers clashed. He thought, damn it, is this the power of a great emperor? It's just a remnant spirit, but I still can't resist it. This type of move is representative of the Tao of the fist. Suddenly, a beam of light pierced through the dark clouds and struck Benevolent Sword. The third great sage said, "This Qi is..." Benevolent Sword gasped. "Leader, you're here!" Yaoqi Saint exclaimed. "The great righteous emperor!" Ning Tian said, "I didn't expect to see that old man here." The great righteous emperor commanded, "Disperse remnant spirit." The third great sage tried to resist his power, gritting her teeth and snarling, "Damn it! If I were still alive." Yaoqi Saint cried out, "No, we haven't brought the third great sage back to Yaoqi yet." The third great sage sighed, "Such a shame. In the end, I couldn't be buried next to her." Suddenly, Ning Tian nipped over to her, and a huge blast slammed down on the ground with the great righteous emperor's power. Ning Tian managed to save the third great sage, who then said, "Boy, thanks." He replied, "No worries, it's what I should do." He thought to himself, "Thank goodness the system gave me that teleportation card, but even if we all piled in together, I reckon we can't beat this bloke. What now?" The great righteous emperor thought, "How can you save anyone from under my nose with such low cultivation? There's something dodgy about that kid." A system prompt chimed in. "You've shocked the righteous emperor. Reward earned, Great Emperor Summoning Card." Another prompt. "Great Emperor Summoning Card. You can summon an emperor, disregarding spatial movement. One-time use." Ning Tian smirked to himself and thought, "Great Emperor Summoning Card. Right on time." He stood up, walked with pride, and then said, "Senior Saint, leave this to me." The great righteous emperor scoffed, "You're just a mere Earth King realm cultivator. Do you have the guts to challenge me?" Ning Tian retorted, "When you're scarpering with your tail between your legs later, you'll see where this courage comes from." He thought, "System, use the Great Emperor Summoning Card. Summon Luo Wuqing, Queen Mother of the West." The system responded, "The Great Emperor Summoning Card has been used, summoning Luo Wuqing, Queen Mother of the West." Suddenly another prompt appeared. The third great sage remarked, "This is a great emperor's aura, and there's two of them." Yaoqi Saint said, "Weird. Why is one of them so familiar, and the other Queen Mother of the West?" Suddenly, from the sky, the Queen Mother of the West appeared, wearing just a bath towel. Beside her stood Luo Wuqing, Empress of the heavenly demonic sect. Luo Wuqing turned to the Queen Mother and said, "Just now, I was forcibly pulled into a void." The Queen Mother replied, "Me too. I was about to have a shower." The great righteous emperor exclaimed, "Luo Wuqing, Queen Mother of the West." He thought, what trick did that brat use to summon both of them in an instant? Luo Wuqing suddenly looked at the great righteous emperor and asked Ning Tian, "Who harmed you?" Ning Tian pointed at the great righteous emperor and said, "Wife, it's that bloke who's bullying the weak." Annoyed, the great righteous emperor thought, "That brat." With intense dark energy, Luo Wuqing spoke in a terrifying voice. "Righteous emperor, as an emperor, ain't it a bit out of order to attack an Earth King realm cultivator?" She glared at him with a killing stare. The great righteous emperor tried to reason Queen Mother of the West. "Your Yaoqi's known to be neutral. You've never involved yourself in conflicts. Are you picking sides now?" She replied coldly, "I advise you to think about apologizing first." He protested, "What? I am a great emperor, the leader of the Righteous Alliance." He then got nervous, sweating buckets. Luo Wuqing showed her anger and declared, "No matter who you are, if you hurt my husband, I'll end you." The great righteous emperor'll taste a wife's wrath. She raged with power and said, "Righteous emperor, do you really think you can provoke my heavenly demonic sect with the power of your little righteous alliance?" The righteous emperor was shocked and exclaimed, "An immortal weapon? Luo Wuqing, think this through carefully. We're both emperors. If we fight, the whole mountain range will be left in shambles." She sneered. Ha! Why should I care? Ning Tian observed. Her Tao of the Swords reached sagehood. The third great sage advised, Boy, watch their fight carefully. You don't see two emperors brawling every day. Your wife's a formidable opponent. Ning Tian thought. Luo Wuqing's never used such a strong attack in front of me before. My wife's truly been hiding her talent. Suddenly, Luo Wuqing attacked the righteous emperor, who blocked her strike. He laughed. Ha! As their powers clashed violently. Ning Tian and the third great sage watched the intense battle unfold. At that moment, the Queen Mother of the West arrived and began playing her flute to support Luo Wuqing. She remarked with a smirk, Tisk, it seems your dear wife's truly angry. Luo Wuqing, make sure not to hurt your dear husband with your might. As Luo Wuqing continued attacking the righteous emperor, she glanced at the Queen Mother and said, Stop being so noisy. You've got a purpose here. Protect him. I won't be holding back. She then pointed her sword at the righteous emperor and resumed her assault. The righteous emperor cursed, Damn it! He got struck multiple times. Ning Tian thought one day I'll be as strong as you, or even stronger. The righteous emperor fell to the ground, groaning in pain as Luo Wuqing pointed her sword at him. He spat, Luo Wuqing, you'll regret making an enemy of my righteous alliance over a mere brat. Ning Tian declared, My wife's the winner. Luo Wuqing retorted, But he's always been someone who fears death. I reckon he's not even here in person. It's just a mere shadow of a great emperor, one who shouldn't dare to overstep his bounds. She slashed the shadow with her sword. The old man and his mate fled in panic, exclaiming, The Empress is too strong. The righteous emperor was actually. The first sword sex leader, Benevolent Sword, was shocked. Run quickly, he shouted, and they all tried to escape. But Luo Wuqing chased after him, striking him down, and they coughed up blood. Benevolent Sword gasped. Luo Wuqing immediately attended to Ning Tian and asked, How you feeling? I'm fine now, thanks, dear wife, he replied with a smile. You're so kind to me. The Queen Mother of the West suddenly interjected. Ahem! You two should stop with the public displays of affection. As they cherished their moment, the Queen Mother said, Patriarch, I was just about to take a bath when I got dragged here. Was it you who did it? Confused, Ning Tian asked, A bath? Yes, and if I'd already been in the bath, what would have happened then? You must explain yourself properly, she demanded. He stammered, Well, and began to sweat, thinking, I can't tell him I had a great emperor summoning card, right? He quickly changed the subject. Ning Tian has his own ways. Let's put this aside and not speak of it anymore. He then turned to his wife. Thanks for helping me out, dear wife. The Queen Mother thought, He's getting more and more mysterious. Suddenly, Yao Qi Saint approached the third great sage and asked Senior what's happening. The sage sighed. I'm just a remnant spirit. My fate's been sealed. Yao Qi Saint cried out, Queen Mother of the West, the third great sage, wished to be buried next to great Santa Tianxuan. Let's take her back quickly. The Queen Mother responded gravely, We're far from Yao Qi, and the senior wouldn't be able to survive these injuries. The third great sage spoke softly. It's okay. Reaching the skies and meeting Yao Xuan sooner ain't so bad. Patriarch, Ning Tian assured. Don't worry, senior. I won't let your legacy be forgotten. With a gentle smile, the sage vanished. Thanks, she whispered as she faded away. Ning Tian vowed to himself, I'll become someone who can fight on equal terms with an emperor. In another scene, at the heavenly spiritual domain, within the hidden chamber of the Zhongshu Righteous Alliance, the righteous emperor spat blood on the floor and shouted angrily, Luo Wuqing, because of that damn husband of hers, she actually destroyed my strongest shadow clone. And Yao Qi, they dare to aid the heavenly demonic sect. They don't take us seriously. An elder from the other side of the communication line interrupted. You're so angry. Did I call at the wrong time? The righteous emperor recognized the voice. Void God, when did you come out of seclusion? Yao Qi's Queen Mother has grown close to the heavenly demonic sect lately. If they cooperate, wouldn't our plan fail? Void God laughed. Ha ha ha, don't worry. I've begun to faintly touch the border of the next realm. The righteous emperor was shocked. No way. You don't have guidance toward the path to becoming a god, and you haven't joined the battle for the god's throne. How did you reach the god realm? Void God replied with confidence. Although I'm no true god, I am a tier stronger than a great emperor. I call it the false god. The righteous emperor, still seethen, declared, Just wait. Yaoqi, the heavenly demonic sect, and that damn patriarch will all crumble beneath my feet. At the heavenly demonic sect, half a month had passed. Luo Wuqing looked at Ning Tian and said, Your injuries are almost healed. Ning Tian grabbed her wrist, smiling. Wife, you care so much for your husband. How should this husband repay you? Suddenly he laid her on the bed. She gasped, Ah! And quickly retorted, Such a smooth talker. Didn't you say earlier that the third great sage left you a storage ring? He nodded. Yes, she told me all her treasures are inside it. I wonder what good stuff lies in there. He revealed the ring. You'd better be mentally prepared, she warned. What do you mean? He asked, confused. Suddenly the ring glowed violently, and both of them exclaimed in shock, Ah! As the ring burst with energy, Ning Tian peered inside. Is this the storage ring? It's completely empty. Did that old woman cheat me? But then he saw a huge glowing chest. The treasures must be within this big treasure chest, he said excitedly, opening it only to find another chest inside. Sweating in confusion, he muttered, Really? Another one? And another one? It's like those Matryoshka dolls. Finally, from the smallest chest, the image of the third great sage appeared, laughing. Ha ha ha. Youngsters shouldn't be greedy. The most precious treasure in my tomb is my inheritance. You damn old woman, Ning Tian shouted, frustrated. Just think of this as the elder's final act of affection for the younger generation. She handed him a scroll. This is, he asked as he held it in his hands. He stepped out of the ring, where Luo Wuqing was waiting for him outside, smiling. How was it? She asked. Wife, did you know there was nothing inside the storage ring? He replied. She chuckled. It said that the third great sage was not only the poorest emperor, but also extremely stingy. If you were hoping for gold, silver, treasures, magic weapons, or skills, you were doomed to be disappointed. It's just a single parchment scroll, he said, showing it to her. I didn't expect the third great sage to leave behind something so valuable, she commented. Is it really valuable? He asked, surprised. Yes, she explained. If the prescription written on the scroll is made into a pill, it could help you reach the middle stage of minor success in cultivating your physique. It can nourish my physique? He asked, intrigued. Indeed, the heavenly demonic sect has most of the ingredients listed, but not the Thunderheart fruit or 9 Phoenix ice grass. Those'll require a search in more distant lands. Ning Tian thought to himself, I can't always rely on my wife's power. I need to grow strong quickly. He spoke aloud. You don't have to worry about finding them for me, dear wife. But if you let me help, you'll get 'em faster, she suggested. Our sect's currently at the center of some controversy, he reasoned. If we cause trouble while looking for these ingredients, it'll draw unwanted attention. I should handle it myself. Luo Wuqing, touched by his consideration, thought, He's becoming more reasonable. Ning Tian, still unsure, added, But I'm not certain about all the details of the prescription. How about you accompany me to study it again carefully? He lifted her and carried her playfully. Oh, she teased. So we're studying the prescription. He placed her on the bed and tried to wrestle her, making her laugh. Ah, you hothead, she exclaimed. Hours later, the two sat together on a branch outside. Ning Tian thought, My wife seemed quite happy with our prescription study last night. We should arrange more such activities in the future. He. He stood and said, Now I've mastered the Tao of music, the sword, and the palm. The only thing left is the Tao of the fists. I'll go to the depository for help. As Ning Tian arrived, Elder Gu Han glanced behind him and bowed respectfully. Greetings, Patriarch. He stared at Ning Tian, shocked. In just a few months, the Patriarch has reached the 9-star Earth King realm. A system prompt sounded in his mind. You've shocked. Elder Guhan reward function earned martial art restoration. Another prompt followed. Martial art restoration. Incomplete martial arts can be fixed through comprehension. Martial art restoration, Ning Tian thought. Which floor will the Patriarch be visiting this time? Elder Guhan asked. The 5th, he replied. Quick, move all the martial art skills from the 1st to 4th floors. Elder Guhan ordered a disciple. Yes, the disciple responded promptly. Ning Tian chuckled. I'm just practicing martial arts. Why are you acting like I'm about to destroy the place? It's not like I'm going to wreck everything, right? Patriarch, please forgive me, Elder Guhan replied. I'm just trying to be cautious. Please enter. Ning Tian examined the different skills. Demon God Fist, Rock Fist, to bring out the true power of the 3rd Great Sage's intimidating and violent fists. I need a skill book that matches it. After some searching, he found one. Intermediate Earth Rank, Tyrant Flame Fist. A system prompt appeared. It's been detected that Tyrant Flame Fist is incomplete. It can be completely restored by the host's Tao of the fist. Does the host wish to restore it? He smiled. Unparalleled dominance, divine flames, Tyrant Flame Fist, it's you, restore it. The system responded, restoring. A few moments later, the system declared, restoration successful. 10-fold comprehension of the complete version of Tyrant Flame Fists. New fist skill acquired. Ning Tian suddenly felt an intense power surging in his fists, and a system prompt appeared. Tyrant Flame Fist comprehension is successful. Outside, a cultivator exclaimed, The repository is it being destroyed? Elder Guhan and the others looked at the flaming building. He sighed with relief, saying, Fortunately this time the Patriarch only shook the building without destroying it. Another cultivator pointed, Look, there's fire coming from the 5th floor. Suddenly a beam of intense light shot up into the air. Elder Guhan frowned. No, this ain't fire. That aura is the Tyrant Flame Fist. Wait, how did the Patriarch learn that skill? I remember it's incomplete. A system prompt appeared. You've shocked Elder Guyan and Elder Guhan. Reward earned sunlight aura absorption, another prompt asked. Does the host wish for the sunlight aura to be used for the divine flame of the Tyrant Flame Fist? Yes or no? Ning Tian muttered to himself. The Tyrant Flame Fist requires the combination of dominating Qi and divine flame aura to reach its full might. What would happen if the powerful sunlight aura was used as the divine flame source for the Tyrant Flame Fist? The system responded. Absorption of sunlight aura. As a beam of light intensified, he emerged from the building, glowing with a bright golden light. Elder Guhan exclaimed in shock. Heavens! Is the Patriarch ascending? Holy sunlight's coming down. The Patriarch's actually using the aura of the sunlight to cultivate. Ning Tian looked down at the onlookers with his bulked-up muscles. A lady gasped, Look, the Patriarch's clothes are in flames. Wow, his 8-pack abs are perfect. I really want to lie on 'em. A bloke added, The flame's getting stronger and stronger. I hope the Patriarch's okay. Her friend reassured, It's the Patriarch. How could he not be okay? Elder Guhan warned, The sun and moon's aura ain't comparable to ordinary aura. It's very difficult to absorb and use for one's benefit, and there's a chance it might backfire. Even if the Patriarch's mighty, he's still an Earth King realm cultivator. As Ning Tian floated in the air, Brother Wuqing suddenly arrived. Elder Guhan bowed, Greetings, Empress. He thought, The Empress is here, the Patriarch and the repository should be safe. Suddenly Ning Tian's figure expanded behind him. A cultivator shouted, What kind of monster is that? Elder Guhan's jaw dropped. The Patriarch is... Brother Wuqing calmly stated, Yes, it's the Great Tao's body. Guhan stammered. It's said that it only appears when the Great Tao evolves to its limits. Could it be that the Patriarch's already comprehended the Tyrant Flame Fist to its limits? she corrected him. Ning Tian hasn't yet comprehended it. He's still pursuing it. A system prompt announced, deduction of the Great Tao. When deducing the Great Tao, the host can form the Great Tao's body, which can elevate the host's mastery to its limits. Another followed. Cultivation of the third great sage's skills, starting the deduction of the Tao of the fist. Ning Tian's eyes glowed bright gold as his Tao's body rampaged. Elder Guhan cried out in shock, "Heavens, what's the patriarch trying to do? The repository can't be saved." Luo Wuqing reassured, "Rest assured," and she protected all the important items within the building. She instructed, "Elder Guhan, please keep these skills safe and inform the disciples of each hall to be vigilant." "Yes," he responded. She continued, "He's at the deduction stage and can't be disturbed, let alone interrupted, otherwise all his previous work might go to waste." As Ning Tian practiced his Tao's body and prepared for a punch, multiple Tao bodies suddenly appeared, rampaging through the area. An elder reported, "The heavenly demonic hall, sword hall, flame hall, blade hall, they've all collapsed." Guhan muttered, "The patriarch is indeed a build-and destruction demon." Luo Wuqing shrugged, "We can just tear it down and rebuild it. Ning Tian's currently developing his martial arts, including the Tao of the fist and music. Why don't you comprehend 'em too?" The cultivators responded, "Thanks, Empress, for the enlightenment." She encouraged, "Don't worry, his Tao of the fist is extraordinary. If you can pass through the Tao of the fist, through the Tao of music, it'd be a great fortune." After a stick of incense had burned, Ning Tian declared, "Unparalleled dominance, a divine flame burning." He punched the air, continuing, "Sweeping flames, peerless divine." A system prompt announced, "Deduction of the Tao of the fist is complete." Another stated, "The great Tao's body is dissipating." He nodded. Finally, the dominating chi and the divine flame of the tyrant flame fist are combined. A system prompt read, "You've shocked everyone in the heavenly demonic sect. Immortal weapon earned meteorite gloves." The system added, "Meteorite gloves upon wearing, they become invisible, making it seem as if they're not there." A final prompt confirmed, "Meteorite gloves are equipped." He smirked, "Good, they're an exclusive fist set and an immortal weapon. My punching powers increased significantly." Luo Wuqing asked, "How do you feel?" He replied, "I'm fine, but I feel like I haven't deduced enough." Suddenly he looked around, startled. This wasn't done by me again, was it?" She smiled. "It doesn't matter. As a member of the sect, your cultivation's more important." Elder Guhan muttered to himself, "Empress, you're spoiling him," while the other cultivators grumbled in the background. Suddenly a person arrived, puzzled. "It's odd. Who could make such a big fuss in the heavenly demonic sect with the Empress present?" He bowed. "Greetings, Empress. The Tianbao Holy Land invites Patriarch Ning Tian to Shenzhou City to attend the annual Tianbao auction." Ning Tian blinked in confusion. "Auction? Why would you invite me to Shenzhou City?" "At the Whisper in Rain Tower of the Heavenly Demonic Sect." Luo Wuqing respectfully greeted the Holy Son of Tianbao, saying, "Forgive us for the unfortunate timing. Holy Son of Tianbao, the heavenly demonic sect's currently undergoing reconstruction, and you've come to discuss the matters of the Tianbao auction." The Holy Son replied, "It's okay, Empress. I'm sure the Empress knows best." Ning Tian interrupted, "When's this Tianbao auction you mentioned?" The Holy Son explained, "It's the largest auction in the entire domain, hosted by our Tianbao Holy Land. All the treasures of the domain are auctioned there. It's a must-see event." He pondered, "I see. I understand why the Tianbao Holy Land would invite our sect, but why invite me specifically?" The Holy Son smiled and answered, "Of course, it's because of the Patriarch's fame. After the battle at the Great Emperor's tomb, my admiration for the Patriarch's been immeasurable. I begged my master repeatedly to let me visit you to show my sincerity." He waved off the flattery. Stop with the compliments and speak seriously." Suddenly the Holy Son collapsed to the floor in mock tears. "Patriarch, you're so ruthless. I was being honest. The Holy Lord sent me, and the first comrade I thought of was you." He then whispered to Ning Tian, "I heard the girls in Shenzhou City are all so pretty, and you, Patriarch, are quite the charmer." He grew visibly nervous in front of Luo Wuqing. The Holy Son continued, chuckling, "If I'm with you, maybe I'll find someone for myself too, hehe." Luo Wuqing chimed in the Tianbao auctions renowned for its top-tier treasures. "You may find the herbs you need there." "Lightening up," he responded with joy. "Since my dear wife thinks so highly of this auction, I should attend." She added, "Although the relationship between the Supreme Divine Kingdom and the Heavenly Demonic Sect ain't ideal, they won't attack you." As she stood up, she approached Ning Tian, grabbing him by the shirt, making him shout, "Wife!" Before he could react further, she kissed him, leaving him utterly shocked. "Ah!" The Holy Son was just as stunned, his nose bleeding from the shock. "Damn! Is this something I should even be watching?" Their lips began to glow brightly, and Luo Wuqing stepped back, saying, "I've planted a formation within your body. It'll block an attack at a critical moment, and I'll be informed. There's also spirit coins in the ring, so you won't need to worry about funds. And this ice silkworm mask." He took the mask, confused. "Ice silkworm mask?" She nodded. "Wearing it'll alter your appearance and hide your aura, so you won't have to worry about your identity being exposed." As he donned the mask, his features transformed, his eyes and lips changing. The Holy Son, disgusted, took out a mirror. "Patriarch, your new face is something," he asked excitedly. "What is it?" Only to gasp in horror as he saw the ugliest face he'd ever seen. "Wife, do I have to wear this mask? I'm a member of the Heavenly Demonic Sect. I can't tarnish our image." She replied, "While you wear it, no one will know you're the Patriarch. That'll keep you safe. Or are you planning to flirt with some pretty girl in Shenzhou City?" He scoffed. "Of course not." He moved toward her, wrapping his arm around her waist. "My dear wife, you gave me this mask because you're jealous, right?" She scoffed back. "Who's jealous?" he teased. "I'm just afraid your emperor-attracting physique will cause trouble again." The Holy Son, observing their banter, muttered to himself, "I thought I'd finally get a chance with a woman, using his charm, but now he's not even as handsome as me. I shouldn't have come." As he continued to watch their passionate exchange, another scene unfolded. In Shenzhou City, Ning Tian commented, "Your shadow wind horses are incredible. It only took us half a day to reach Shenzhou City." The Holy Son proudly boasted, "Don't underestimate them just because they are second-level monsters. They can travel thousands of miles in a day. They're the treasure of our Tianbao Holy Land." Suddenly, a boy rushed by, shouting, "Hey, did you hear? The Thunderwind 9-step terrace is open again." A crowd immediately began to gather, drawn to the excitement. He turned to a passerby and asked, "Excuse me, what's the Thunderwind 9-step terrace?" The man looked at him, surprised. "You don't know about it. Are you an outsider?" Legend has it that the Thunderwind 9-step terrace contains the most mystic divine thunder Tao among the 3,000 great Taos. Although there's only 9 steps, very few have ever reached the top. If you manage to reach the 8th step, you even get the chance to dine with the princess. He raised an eyebrow, intrigued by the mention of the princess. Meanwhile, the Holy Son, eyes wide with excitement, jumped in. "The princess? Are you talking about Princess Yuling? One of the 3 great beauties of Shenzhou?" The man grinned confidently. "Exactly, it's her." Before he could process everything, the Holy Son bolted towards the crowd, shouting, "Patriarch, we've got to go now. No time to waste." He tried to reason. "Shouldn't we find a place to stay first?" The Holy Son barely glanced back as he quickly tied their horses to a nearby pole. "Where could we possibly find a better place to stay than with the princess herself?" he exclaimed, his voice full of confidence. "Ah, but no. Even more important's the divine thunder Tao." With that, he sprinted ahead once more, eager to join the rush of people. He grabbed the arm of the transformed, ugly version of Ning Tian, dragging him along. The buffed shadow wind horses, now tethered, watched in confusion as the strange pair, an excited Holy Sun and an awkwardly disguised Ning Tian, ran toward the gathering crowd. As they disappeared into the sea of people, a beautiful lady peered out from a nearby building. Her eyes narrowed as she spoke softly to herself. A horse from Tianbao Holy Land travelled from 1,000 miles away, the Supreme Divine Kingdom, and the Thunderwind 9-step terrace. At the Supreme Divine Kingdom, people gathered as the guards stood under the bright hot sun. Ning Tian observed, "There's so many soldiers guarding the square. This city's security's very tight." The Holy Sun replied, "After all, the Supreme Divine Kingdom's the heart of the heavenly spiritual domain, and this city's under its rule." He asked, "Is the Supreme Divine Kingdom that powerful?" "Of course," the Holy Sun responded. "Compared to him, the Eastern Kingdom's third-rate at best." Like the heavenly demonic sect in Shizhou, each major sect rules its own region as they wish. Shizhou City's also full of sects, but behind them there's officials who interfere. Even great emperors have to rely on the power of the nation. He nodded. "I see," the Holy Sun added. "So, cultivators have to be more cautious here." Suddenly, a beautiful woman appeared on a balcony. She smiled and announced, "The Thunderwind 9-step terrace is open again. I hope everyone tries their best to reach the top." The Holy Sun exclaimed in excitement. "It's Princess Wuqing. She's truly one of the 3 greatest beauties. Even her voice sounds like heavenly music." A boy with purple hair remarked, "If I could just have dinner with the princess and see her true face, I'd die without regrets." He teased, "Why don't you just reach the 8th step?" The boy scoffed. "You think it's that easy? Climbing the Thunderwind 9-step terrace is like ascending to the heavens. With each step, the difficulty doubles." His mate added, "But with the Qianbao auction happening, a lot of powerful outsiders have been appearing. Maybe someone will succeed." Princess Wuqing called out, "I wonder which brave cultivator'd like to try first." A man stepped forward and declared, "I'm Juju, and I'm willing to try." The ladies in the crowd cheered excitedly, some even jumping with joy. "It's the Holy Son of Zhao Yao," one woman exclaimed. Another cried out, "Young Master Juju, I love you." Her friend swooned. "He's so handsome. Is there anyone in the world more dashing than young Master Juju?" The Holy Sun muttered angrily. "These women have no idea." "Patriarch, take off your mask and show him the truth," he whispered. "Lower your voice." Princess Wuqing invited, "Holy Son of Zhao Yao, please step forward." Juju confidently approached the terrace. "I've long heard of the fame of Shenzhou City's Thunderwind 9-step terrace. Today, I shall experience its power firsthand." With a display of his strength, he took his first step, which echoed like thunder. The Holy Sun commented, "Although the 9 blue stone steps appear simple, the power they contain's the divine thunder Dao. Ignorance truly is bliss. If someone ain't careful, they could be blown to pieces." "How do you know so much?" he asked. The Holy Sun replied, "I've attempted it before. I reached the 7th step, but just as I was about to step on the 8th, the power of the thunder within the blue stones suddenly multiplied. Luckily, I had a life-saving magic treasure. Only because of that did I escape being struck by thunder and dying. I'll never forget that tingling sensation." Suddenly a girl exclaimed, "Look, young Master Ju's already reached the 7th step." Her friend added excitedly, "Young Master Ju's at the immortal Emperor realm. He'll definitely reach the 9th step." Their sister cheered, "You can do it, young Master Ju." Juju, feeling the pressure mountain, with each step thought, "Every time I climb higher, the pressure increases." This Thunderwind 9-step terrace truly is extraordinary. An old woman leaned over to Princess Wuqing. "Princess, do you think Juju can make it?" She hesitated. "Do you think so?" As young Master Ju continued to climb, sweat dripped down his face as he felt the overwhelming force pressing down on him. He turned around, slightly ashamed. "I'm not talented enough to continue. I'm sorry to disappoint the princess," she replied graciously. "It doesn't matter, Holy Son of Xiao Yao. You're already incredibly strong. It's just a pity." Ning Tian, intrigued, said, "Interesting. I want to give it a try." The Holy Son, alarmed, quickly intervened. "Patriarch, please don't be reckless. Juju's an immortal emperor. If something happens to you, how will I explain it to the Empress?" The princess asked, "Are there any other brave cultivators willing to try?" He slowly stepped forward and declared, "Me? I'll try." A beautiful woman gasped in surprise. "Who's that?" A handsome young man nearby replied, "I don't know. He looks pretty average." How dare he challenge the Thunderwind 9-step terrace? The woman scoffed. "He's nowhere near the Holy Son of Xiaoyao in looks." Princess Wuqing glanced at him curiously. "May I ask who you are?" Before he could respond, the Holy Son suddenly shouted, "This is the handsome young Master Ning, Corzin." Ning began to sweat nervously, remembering he was in disguise and trying to avoid attention. A man nearby raised an eyebrow. "Huh?" a beautiful woman whispered skeptically. "Handsome? He doesn't look impressive at all." Another boy defended him. "But he's a good friend of the Holy Son of Tianbao. He must be strong." His friend replied sarcastically, "So what? Didn't the Holy Son of Tianbao get electrocuted and burned to a crisp when he tried the terrace?" Princess Wuqing smiled. "Holy Son of Tianbao, long time no see. It seems you're doing well." The Holy Son, entranced by her voice, blurted out, "I'm doing okay." While Ning Tian looked at him, puzzled by his reaction, she continued, "Since you're the Holy Son of Tianbao's friend, you may come forward and try." He now serious thought, "This divine thunder Dao, I must obtain it." As he stepped onto the terrace, his aura surged with thunderous power, but almost immediately he was shocked. "What? Why do I feel like I can't move?" The crowd murmured in confusion. "What's happening? He's not moving. The pressure of the first step's supposed to be weak," someone remarked. "Could it be that he can't even pass the first step?" The Holy Son, his eyes ablaze with anger, shouted, "What do you know? My friend won't stop at the first step." The crowd exchanged awkward glances, sweating nervously at his outburst. Suddenly, a voice echoed in Ning Tian's mind. "Host, the Thunderwind 9-step terrace has a contrary effect on those with godly physiques." His eyes widened as he broke into a cold sweat. "Doesn't that mean my first step's actually the 9th? Comprehension of the divine thunder Dao," the system's voice added. A system prompt appeared. The host can now immediately absorb the divine thunder Dao's comprehension. However, the host must withstand the pressure of the 9th step during the comprehension process. "Do you wish to absorb?" He resolved to himself, "Absorb." The system's voice echoed. "Detected. The host is absorbing the divine thunder Dao's comprehension. 10-fold comprehension activated. Host, please, hold on." Suddenly, lightning struck, and a person exclaimed in shock, "A thunder-wind transformation. Ain't this the legendary phenomenon that only occurs when one reaches the 9th step?" The Holy Son added, "How could this happen at the first step?" Princess Wuqing asked anxiously, "Master Nanyan, what's happening?" He replied, "I don't know either. This has never happened before." As the lightning and wind continued to assault Ning Tian, he muttered, "Fortunately, I've already been blessed by the thunder and have thunder spiritual veins. Otherwise, I might not have been able to withstand this." He took a step forward, determination etched on his face. Shadows played across his features, and his eyes glowed with power as he shouted, "Ah!" A person in the crowd remarked, "This descending thunder, even the strongest men of the celestial realm would probably perish." Another observed, "He didn't die. He must have an amazing defense." A voice urged, "Patriarch, please don't get in trouble." The system announced, "You've shocked the cultivators of Shenzhou City. Reward: Thunderproof pill. Resist partial effects of thunder after consumption. Reward: Miraculous healing pill. Quick recovery from injury after consumption." He quickly commanded, "System, use the Thunderproof pill and the Miraculous healing pill." With renewed strength, he took another step forward, moving with intense power, and ascended the stairs. Then he moved swiftly, almost as if the lightning had granted him speed. A system prompt rang out. Divine Thunder Tao comprehended. Current comprehension level beginner. He mused, the 8th step, which was as difficult as ascend into the heavens, now feels so easy. Then the 9th step. A person in the crowd pointed, the 8th step. He stepped onto the 8th step. It's not over yet. Look, he's trying to go up. Another exclaimed, what? The 9th step? That's impossible. Who is he? The system reported, you've shocked everyone. Reward, Thunder Wind Tao Comprehension Point 1. The host has now made minor progress in the Thunder Wind Tao. He thought, there's many people here. Since I've already obtained the comprehension of the Thunder Wind Tao, I don't need to step onto the 9th step. That'll help me avoid needing to explain myself later. He stood silently as the lightning gradually dissipated. A man in the crowd remarked, see, his cultivation doesn't seem enough to reach the 9th step. His companion replied, but he stepped onto the 8th step already, and wasn't the first step a bit strange for him? The next 7 were easy. Darn it, another voice muttered in frustration. The Holy Son realized, he reached the 8th step. Doesn't that mean he gets to have dinner with Princess Wuqing? In disbelief, some in the crowd cried out, ah, I won't allow this. I won't allow the princess to dine with an ugly man. One remarked, it's like a bunch of flowers stuck into a pile of mud. A companion fuming with anger added, I'm so angry. He turned to the Holy Son and said, let's go. The Holy Son nearly slipped up, calling him patriarch, but corrected himself. Master Ning, are you going to leave like that? You're not going to dine with the princess? He, recalling Empress Wuqing, replied, she ain't as pretty as my wife. Why should I dine with her? The Holy Son, surprised, stammered, ah, the Empress. Your wife's very pretty indeed. The crowd grew even more outraged, with one shouting, ridiculous. He actually said that one of the 3 beauties of Shenzhou ain't as good as his wife. Another added, wild boars can't eat fine bran. How pretty can his wife be? A third speculated, could it be that his wife's the most recognized beauty of the heavenly spiritual domain, the heavenly Empress? Princess Wuqing addressed him, fellow Taoist from the demonic sect, please come dine with me in the small residence. As he walked away, the crowd's gaze followed him. With a serious expression, he replied, I'm busy. She persisted, when will you be free? He shrugged, depends. She thought to herself, how many holy sons and princes have been flocking to me? It's interesting to see such an average-looking man reject me. Suddenly, a powerful presence arrived. It was the Supreme Divine Kingdom's Third Highness. He inquired, Wuqing, did someone just step onto the 9th step of the Thunder Wind 9-step terrace? Don't worry, we're just talking among ourselves. No one else can hear us. She responded, no one reached the top of the 9th step, but someone made it to the 8th. The Third Highness, clearly surprised, thought, I distinctly felt a strong reaction from the Thunder Wind 9-step terrace just now. Outwardly, he remarked, the 8th step's nothing special. She turned to Master Nanyan and requested, Master Nanyan, please help me find that friend of the Tianbao Holy Son. He replied, sure. In a different scene, the Holy Son spoke to Ning Tian, Patriarch, why did you reject Princess Wuqing? Are you out of your mind? He responded, after reaching the top of the 8th step, do you really think the princess would be willing to dine with me so easily? How can it be that simple? The Holy Son's eyes widened in realization. Are you saying the princess has ulterior motives? I hadn't even considered that. As expected of you, Patriarch, you thought of that too. I'm really... He interrupted. Stop flattering me and find us an inn to stay in. The Holy Son reassured him. Don't worry, Patriarch. I've already found an inn and tied the horses outside. Suddenly he gasped. Ha! The horses! He rushed to the inn's entrance, clutching the pole while exclaiming in dismay. My horses! Someone stole my horses! I'll find you, you thief! Ning Tian, sweating in embarrassment, grabbed him and said, Stop howling! We need to prepare for the auction. A few hours later, Under the ever-present full moon, the ugly-faced Ning Tian meditated in his room. He opened his eyes and exhaled deeply. He thought, yes, thanks to the Thunderwind Tao, this trip's already proven fruitful. It'd be even better if the 2 ingredients I need appear at tomorrow's auction. At the Tianbao Pavilion, people gathered as the auction was about to begin. Inside, he walked alongside the Holy Sun. The Holy Sun remarked, even though there's many auctions happening in Shenzhou City, when it comes to rare treasures, none can compare to the Tianbao auction. Look at the first row. Almost all of the top forces from the heavenly spiritual domain are there. There's also private rooms on the second floor, open only to certain special individuals. He continued, Patriarch, if you ask me, considering your status, you definitely deserve a seat in the first row. He replied, my goal's to examine the rare treasures here. I don't care where I sit. The Holy Sun responded admiringly, as expected of the Patriarch. Such a great man living so humbly. He thought, what if they recognize me and I get hunted down? A few moments later, everyone was seated. He mused, I didn't expect to see so many powerful groups in Shenzhou City. The Holy Sun nodded. Indeed, to my knowledge, the only ones with great immortals are the Xiaoyao Holy Land, the Supreme Divine Kingdom, and the Sword Immortal Sect. But there must be hidden figures among us. Suddenly the crowd fell silent, and the Holy Sun announced, Princess Yuling's entering. As she walked gracefully, the room seemed to brighten with her beauty. He whispered to Ning Tian, who would have thought that the Supreme Divine Kingdom to be represented by Princess Yuling this time? He thought, the world's indeed small. We meet again. He glanced at her as she radiated with elegance. After a few moments, she took her seat, and Master Nanyan said, Princess, it's true. He's indeed at the auction. Shall we go and greet him? She replied calmly, don't be in such a rush. Let's see how things unfold. Suddenly, a stunning woman with long legs and high heels arrived, her steps echoing through the room. Tian Mei then announced with a smile, sorry for the long wait. A voice from the crowd called out, we didn't wait long. There's no need to apologize. Sister Tian Mei's hosting the auction, so we don't mind waiting a little longer. A bearded man, clearly smitten, added, Sister Tian Mei, you become more beautiful with each passing day. Their friend shouted from the back. We can wait as long as it takes for our sister Tian Mei. Meanwhile, the Holy Sun, nose flaring and drooling at the sight of Tian Mei, exclaimed, she's the best auctioneer of the Tianbao Pavilion. We all call her sister Tian Mei. He thought, even the auctioneer's a powerful cultivator of the celestial realm. The might of the Tianbao Pavilion shouldn't be underestimated. Tian Mei declared, now that everyone's gathered, I officially announce the beginning of the 328th Tianbao Pavilion auction. Please turn your attention to the first auction item. A beautiful girl walked slowly to the front, holding an item in her hand. His eyes widened in shock, and he muttered, this is, Tian Mei announced. The first item's an intermediate earth-rank martial arts skill, the Thunderwind Divine Palm. The starting price is 1 million spirit coins. Each subsequent bid must be at least 50,000 spirit coins higher than the last. A boy immediately shouted, 1 million! Another voice followed, 1,050,000. A girl called out, 1,100,000. He thought, it's actually a martial arts skill related to the Thunderwind Tao. But 1 million spirit coins is quite steep. He recalled, before I left, my wife gave me this storage ring and mentioned it contained some spirit coins, but I don't know how much. Suddenly, he entered the storage ring and landed on the ground. A bright light shone inside, causing him to cover his eyes. He exclaimed, ah, why is it so bright? As he gently opened his eyes, he gasped, heavens, my wife, the storage is so rich, he shouted, marveling at the immense wealth before him. He quickly commanded, system, help me count how many spirit coins are in here. The system responded, counting the spirit coins are approximately valued at 1 billion. The total number of weapons and skills is estimated at several hundred. He grinned and said, "Thanks, my dear wife. I'll be able to enjoy such wealth today." Back outside the storage ring, at the auction, a bidder called out, 1,350,000. Another followed with 1,600,000. The Holy Son remarked, "Wow, the competition's intense this time. The leader of the Scar sect's offering 1,600,000. Is there anyone who wants to match this price?" He sipped nervously, feeling the pressure of the bids. Although the Thunderwind Divine Palm's an intermediate Earth-rank martial arts skill, its requirements are very strict. One must master the power of both thunder and wind to use its full potential. 1,600,000's probably the limit. He glanced at Ning Tian, noting his silence. "What are you thinking about? Are you shocked by the price? Don't worry, if there's something you want, but don't have the funds for, I, Zhu Yuanbao, will ensure you get it." But before he could finish, Ning Tian suddenly declared, 1,650,000 spirit coins. The Holy Son nearly choked on his drink, spluttering in surprise. "What did you—" The leader of the Scar sect immediately countered, 1,800,000. He calmly responded, 1,850,000. The Scar sect leader shouted back, 2 million? Without hesitation he replied, 2,500,000. Frustrated, the Scar sect leader slammed the table, emptying his coin purse with a defeated sigh. "Whatever, this Thunderwind Divine Palm's yours." Tian Mei smiled and announced, "If there's no higher bids, then this gentleman wins." She then addressed the room. "Ladies and gentlemen, the first half of the auction's come to an end. We'll begin the second half in half an hour." The Holy Son turned to him and asked, "Patriarch, are you really that rich?" He smiled faintly. "This Tianbao auction's certainly impressive." The Holy Son reassured him, "Don't worry, this is just the first half. It's meant to set the mood. The more valuable treasures are saved for the second half, the grand finale." He nodded thoughtfully. "I see. It'd be even better if the 2 herbs I need are included." Just then, Princess Wuqing approached him, leaving him momentarily confused as he looked at her. With a dazzling smile, she asked, "My fellow Taoist, are you free tonight? How about dinner together?" The handsome young men nearby were stunned, their eyes wide in disbelief. How could Princess Wuqing invite the plain-looking Ning Tian out for dinner? He looked at her silently, then replied, "I'm busy." The entire room fell into a shocked silence. Princess Wuqing, along with the handsome onlookers, stood with their jaws dropped, unable to believe that he'd rejected Princess Wuqing for the second time that day. Princess Wuqing said to him, "Then, when's young Master Ning Shuai free?" She thought to herself. He performed so well on the Thunderwind 9-step terrace, and now he's also obtained the Thunderwind Divine Palm. This person will definitely help me reach that place. I have to win him over. He said, "When you're not free, I'll be free." She suddenly went up in flames from frustration. A boy in the crowd said, "Who on earth's that guy to ignore the princess?" The other boy said, "Wait, ain't that the bloke who stepped on the 8th step of the Thunderwind 9-step terrace?" Their friend said, "Seriously? Heavens, he rejected the princess twice." A system prompt said, "You've shocked everyone in the Tianbao Pavilion. Reward, duplicate momentum card." Another prompt said, "Duplicate momentum card while hiding your own aura. You can copy the aura of the first person who senses you." He thought, duplicate momentum card? Quite interesting. If I use it right, it might have an unexpected effect. As Princess Wuqing frustratedly looked at him, she said, "Young Master Ning's good with jokes. I will not bother you again." She thought, "Ning Shuai, just wait for me. I don't believe I can't handle you." The Holy Son Zhu Yuanbao cried on his seat, feeling depressed. What a waste! What a waste! Some people can't even drink tea with her, but others dare to refuse dinner with her twice. He said, "I won't even bother myself with you." Suddenly a man said to him, "Lord, my master's invited you." The Holy Son looked at him, and Ning Tian was shocked. The man assisted them and said, "Please come in." Suddenly the best auctioneer of the Tianbao Pavilion, Tianmei, grabbed the ear of the Holy Sun and said, "You sneaked out. Does your master know about that?" He screamed in pain. "Ah, it hurts," she said. "You feel pain, huh? I see you're getting bolder and bolder." He replied, "Sister Tianmei, I'm coming down the mountain to gain experience and improve my cultivation. Master'll understand." She said, "I see that you're out here just to have fun. You also brought your little brother with you. I wonder who that is." He said, "This is a friend I made on the road. Ning Shuai, he wanted to see our Tianbao auction, so we came together." She said, "In that case, this place is for you to use." He exclaimed, "Really?" She said, "This is the #1 room." She looked back and said, "But still, don't overdo it." A man in the crowd said, "What does her last sentence mean?" His friend said, "Is there anything special about this private room on the 2nd floor?" Another said, "I don't know either, although this is the best private room on the 2nd floor. It's pretty peaceful." In previous auctions, the highest realm that appeared was only at the celestial realm. Suddenly Tianmei said, "Ladies and gentlemen, in the second half, we'll have several distinguished guests." Distinguished guests? Suddenly they felt pressure in the room, and the Holy Sun said, "Ah, this is—" A man said, "Great Emperor Pressure?" His friend fell to the ground from the pressure and said, "There's actually a great emperor coming to this auction." Tianmei said, Don't be nervous. The great emperors have also come to auction treasures. They won't interfere with us. If you see any treasures you like, feel free to bid as much as you want." The Holy Sun said, "It's over. Now that the rooms next to us are all filled with great emperors, Patriarch, what should we do?" As a lady was silently listening, Ning Tian said, "Who said there ain't a great emperor in our room too?" The Holy Sun was confused and shocked. He thought, the 4 great emperors appeared at the same time, so the next auction item must be outstanding. If you want to compete with them, you'll face some threats. And this room can help me hide my identity by using the duplicate momentum card. Tianmei said, "The first item of the second half is the magical medicine that takes 900 years to mature, the 9 Phoenix Ice Grass. Starting bid, 20 million spirit coins. Each bid must be at least 500,000 spirit coins higher than the previous one." A bidder immediately said, 30 million. This emperor wants this 9 Phoenix Ice Grass. Tianmei said, "The great emperor of the 4th room has taken action. 30 million is what this great emperor says. Who would dare challenge it?" As Ning Tian sipped his cold cup of tea, he suddenly said, 100 million spirit coins. "Excuse me, but I want this 9 Phoenix Ice Grass." As the Holy Sun's jaw dropped and he was shocked, Tianmei thought to herself, the Tianbao saint, no, it's his friend. A man in the crowd said, "What a big number." He raised the bid from 30 to 100 million in one go. He thought, the card can only copy the aura of the first person who senses my presence. I must actively let him sense me, so I can copy their aura and shock 'em. A system prompt said, "You've shocked everyone. Reward, telepathic communication card." He thought, good, with this card, I won't be exposed easily. At the 4th room, young Master Zhuge said, "Master, the Tianbao Pavilion prohibits inquiries about guests' information, so we can't reveal who the other party is." His master said, "Ha, but I want to see—" And he slammed the table and said, "Who dares to take my item from me?" As his energy erupted in the room, the Holy Sun said, "Patriarch!" Ning Tian suddenly took out an item and thought, "System, use the duplicate momentum card." A system prompt said, "Duplicate momentum card is being activated." Successful. Xiaoyao Saint's Great Emperor Aura has been detected and duplicated. Successful. The Great Emperor Aura can be used for 1 hour. As Ning Tian used the Xiaoyao Saint's Great Emperor Aura back at the Master of Young Master Zhuge, young Master Zhuge said in shock, "Master." His master was shocked and thought, he's actually a great emperor. I originally planned to take this 9 Phoenix Ice Grass for my collection. But if we become enemies with such a person, it'd be a loss for us. He then said, "Since you want it, you can take it." Ning Tian said, "Who?" "I've got the 9 phoenix ice grass." Suddenly a voice said, "Ha, 500 million. The Holy Sun said, "It's just a magical medicine, but it's worth 500 million. He thought, "Wait, this voice is system. Use the telepathic communication card." A system prompt said, "Telepathic communication card is being activated." "Successful," he said. "Queen Mother of the West, please give me some face, or next time I'll summon you when you're taking a bath," she replied via telepathic communication. "Patriarch?" And the Queen Mother of the West takes action to snatch the auction item. The Queen Mother of the West said, "Hey, is what the Patriarch's saying true? Then I'll wait for the Patriarch to call me, or can you tell me the time?" The Yaoqi saint, looking confused, asked, "Patriarch?" In the other room, the Queen Mother of the West said loudly, "I can just change into that icy, seductive silk underwear I've treasured for so long." Ning Tian, observing this, muttered to himself, "This Queen Mother of the West is really—" His eyes flared with intensity as he said, "Just wait for me." "Laughing," she replied. "Never mind. I'm afraid Luo Wuking'll show up at Yaoqi with a sword to kill me." She continued, "I'll give you the 9 phoenix ice grass." At this, the holy son of Tianbao, Zhu Yuanbao, asked him, "Patriarch, is everything all right?" He replied, "It's fine. The herb's mine." To himself he thought sadly, "I'm sorry, my dear wife, I just wasted hundreds of millions." Zhu Yuanbao commented, "Patriarch, I didn't realize you were so rich," he thought privately. Right now, the Thunder Heart fruit hasn't even appeared. If the bidding goes on like this, even if I've got 1 billion spirit coins, it might not be enough. Suddenly, Zhu Yuanbao shivered, exclaiming, "So cold! How did the temperature drop so suddenly? Patriarch, do you feel it?" He nodded. "Yes." He looked around shocked and muttered in confusion, A coffin, such an ominous item's being auctioned as well." The eerie chill seeped into his bones as he murmured, "This coffin's truly wicked." As the item was displayed, Tian Mei announced, "Ladies and gentlemen, the item before you's called the Shameful Yin Spirit Coffin. It was unearthed after a 1,000-foot excavation from Tianbao Holy Land's dark forest. Although its exact level remains unknown, we speculate it's likely a relic from the ancient path to godhood. The bidding will start at 100 million spirit coins." Suddenly an old man called out, 200 million? As he emitted a golden aura. Zhu Yuanbao whispered, "The ancient path to godhood, that's something countless cultivators have pursued their entire lives. Even those powerful emperors on the 2nd floor must be eyeing this item, right?" He thought to himself, "It seems Tianbao Holy Land doesn't understand the true power of the coffin. For it's better to auction it for profit than to hoard it. If I could obtain this and bring it to my wife, it might even help her cultivation progress." He announced boldly, 300 million. Tian Mei glanced at him and thought, "Is this friend of the Tianbao Holy Sun?" Meanwhile, the Queen Mother of the West mused privately, "He's just joining in the fun. He really ain't afraid of dying." Zhu Yuanbao turned to him in disbelief. "Patriarch, do you need to be so high profile today? You just outbid the Holy Lord of Xiaoyao for that herb, and now you're competing again." He shrugged. "Why would I be afraid? He doesn't know who I am anyway." The Queen Mother of the West sent a telepathic message to him. "Patriarch, I know why you're doing this. But to break through to the God realm, only true godly willpower can achieve that." Curious, he replied, "What do you mean?" she said. "I need it, but I don't wish to break through to the God realm. Although I don't know where you acquired your Emperor's aura, I hope you'll refrain from involving yourself in unnecessary disputes." He thought, "The Queen Mother of the West's helped me several times, and this doesn't sound like a lie." He said aloud, "Okay, I'll listen to you, Queen Mother of the West." She smiled. "You're so obedient. Next time you come to my Yaoqi, I'll be sure to reward you." He felt slightly confused, wondering, what kind of reward could the Queen Mother of the West give me? The Yaoqi saint turned to her, asking, "The patriarchs promised not to bid for it. Should we take it now?" She replied, "Yes, no matter the cost. Yaoqi must have this coffin. I only hope it can solve the troubles of our Yaoqi Holy Land." A few moments later, he opened a room while Zhu Yuanbao opened another. He looked at the items he'd won and smiled. The Thunderwind Divine Palm. This time the harvest was good. Apart from some proper skills, the only thing left to improve my physique's the Thunderheart fruit. But I've still got no clue about it. That's troublesome. He shrugged. Well, I'll take my time looking for it. For now, I'll practice the Thunderwind Divine Palm. Suddenly, a system prompt appeared. Detected host absorption of Thunderwind Divine Palm. 10-fold comprehension gained. Intermediate Earth rank martial arts skill. Thunderwind Divine Palm. Mastered. Just then someone knocked on the door. He called out, "Who is it?" He saw the Queen Mother of the West and Yaoqi Saint standing at the door. He asked, "Why are you here?" The Queen Mother of the West said, "Take off your mask before talking to us. It's rather unpleasant." Yaoqi Saint added, "Yes, it's quite off-putting." He felt slightly embarrassed, replied, "Ah," and took off his mask. She smiled, "This face is much more pleasing." Yaoqi Saint greeted him, "Patriarch, long time no see." He looked at the Queen Mother, puzzled. "What brings you here?" Suddenly she moved close to him, grabbing his neck and pressing her body next to him. Of course, while Brother Wuqing's away. He was stunned. "Ugh," she teased. "I'm forcing the patriarch to do things he normally cannot do." As she sat on his lap, Yaoqi Saint was shocked. She tried to close her eyes with her soft hands, but peeked through her fingers. As the Queen Mother drew near to his face, both of them blushed, feeling the heat. She suddenly laughed and said, "Ha ha, I was just teasing you. I didn't expect you to be so naive." He, now frustrated, retorted, "Queen Mother of the West, just wait. When I grow stronger than you, I'll spank you." She playfully displayed her form and said, "You can try now, do you dare?" He, determined, responded, "Don't I?" He quickly moved toward her, grabbing her by the waist and pulling her onto his lap. "Since you started this, how could I back away?" He grinned. "Don't act out and expect to get away with it." She gasped as he delivered a playful smack to her. You actually dare to do this?" she exclaimed, looking over her shoulder in surprise. A system prompt chimed in, "You've shocked the Queen Mother of the West." Another added, "You've shocked the Yaoqi Saint reward aura cultivation plus 300. He chuckled, "I am a man, after all. How could I not fulfill the Queen Mother's request?" "Not bad, quite refreshing." She glanced back, her eyes playful. "Patriarch, you hit me." She turned, leaning closer, placing her hands on his shoulders and easing into his lap. "But you have to take responsibility for your actions, don't you? What about tonight?" He grinned, raising his hand again. "Responsibility. Should I let you hit me in return?" Just then Yaoqi Saint interrupted with a polite cough. "Ahem. Holy Lord, perhaps we should focus on the task at hand." The Queen Mother sighed, clearly not pleased with the interruption. "Such a bore," she muttered under her breath. Turning back to him, she asked, "Well then, why did you summon us?" Yaoqi Saint replied, "Patriarch, we've come to request something important, the roots of the 9 Phoenix ice grass." His eyes widened as he thought, "What I need's the leaves of the 9 Phoenix ice grass, so I can afford to part with the roots." He retrieved the rare herb and offered it to him. "Here, take it." Without hesitation, the Queen Mother accepted, swiftly taking the grass. Yaoqi Saint bowed. "Thank you, Patriarch." He frowned playfully. "Queen Mother, you cost me millions of spirit coins at that auction. How do you plan to compensate me?" She leaned in with a mischievous smile. "I may not have spirit coins, but there's 2 beauties here. How about that?" She moved closer, pressing her form against him, her breath warm on his ear. "Or perhaps a breath of fresh air?" His face flushed slightly. "What sort of compensation's this?" "This is all I can offer," she replied with a sigh. "Unless, of course, you have something else in mind." Fine, he replied. Just answer this for me. Have you heard of the thunder heart fruit? Her expression grew thoughtful. Yes, I know of it. It's in the forbidden royal area of the supreme divine kingdom. The forbidden royal area, he mused. Is it really that hard to enter? She nodded. Yes, specifically within the Mirror Moon Pavilion. Only a select few are allowed entry. A flash of inspiration lit his eyes. Princess Wuqing, of course. She'd be the perfect person to bring me inside. He stood and gave a respectful nod. Thank you for the information, Queen Mother. Yaoqi Saint and the Queen Mother took their leave. We'll be in Shenzhou City for the next few days, she mentioned as they departed. Come to us if anything arises. Later, as he prepared himself, he donned his disguise, the ugliest mask he could find. Now, he thought, how do I convince Princess Wuqing to bring me into the forbidden area? Seduction? Hardly. Not with this face. Just then, Princess Wuqing's voice called out from outside. Fellow Taoist Ning Shuai, are you there? He froze, recognizing her voice. It's really her, he thought. Come in, he called. She entered, a bit taken aback. I thought he'd reject me outright. She mused, could it be my sincerity that's won him over? They sat down and he gestured for her to speak. Please, go on. She took a deep breath. I came to ask if you'd accompany me to the Mirror Moon Pavilion within the forbidden royal area. There's something important I wish to discuss with you. He nodded slowly. The forbidden royal area? Well, it wouldn't be right to refuse. I'll go with you. She studied him, a faint blush on her cheeks. If you get used to his face, she told herself, you might even find it handsome. Shall we go now, fellow Taoist? She asked eagerly. He smiled. Of course. Meanwhile, outside junior sister Wuqing stood by a large noble steed. She stroked its mane. Oh, Shadow Gale horse, I think you're adorable. But the horse only whinnied nervously, sensing her true intentions as she drew her blade. If you must blame someone, blame the distinguished guest, she murmured, as a drop of liquid splashed onto the earth below. He and Princess Wuqing stepped out of the room together, leaving Zhu Yuanbao utterly shocked. His eyes widened in disbelief, and his jaw dropped as he pointed an accusing finger at him. You two, a man and a woman, alone in the dead of night? Zhu Yuanbao exclaimed, his eyes blazing with suspicion. He replied calmly. Princess Wuqing had something to discuss. Zhu Yuanbao squinted at him, his tone dripping with accusation. You're up to no good. Before he could finish, he abruptly pushed his face away. Enough with the nonsense, he said firmly. Zhu Yuanbao, beads of sweat forming on his brow, stammered, Yes! Princess Wuqing gestured to him, her voice poised. Fellow Taoist Ning Shuai, let us go. He nodded. Yes. As they turned to leave, Zhu Yuanbao suddenly grabbed his wrist. With a scheming grin, he declared, I want to come too. Let's go together. He blinked in confusion, but Princess Wuqing interjected, It's fine. The Holy Son of Tianbao can join us. Moments later, as they walked, Zhu Yuanbao sniffed the air. What's that smell? It's amazing. She smiled. My junior sisters prepared an excellent feast for you. Please come in. Inside, Princess Wuqing's junior sister Wuqing approached and hesitated upon seeing the group. Senior sister, have you brought the distinguished guests? Oh. Her expression turned wary as she muttered under her breath. Wait, why are they here? Princess Wuqing frowned. What is it? Wuqing, visibly frustrated, shook her head. Nothing. She avoided looking directly at him, clearly unimpressed by his presence. Princess Wuqing introduced him. Fellow Taoist Ning Shuai, Holy Son of Tianbao. This is my junior sister Wuqing. Wuqing, meet Ning Shuai and the Holy Son of Tianbao, our distinguished guests. Wuqing forced a smile, though her annoyance was apparent. Hello, she said curtly. Hello, he replied, his tone neutral. Zhu Yuanbao, however, was already distracted by the table laden with food. He leaped forward, drooling. Wow, what kind of delicacy's this? It smells incredible. I've never seen such tempting food. Princess Wuqing explained with pride. This is a full banquet my junior sister specially prepared for you, featuring the rare shadow wind horse. Zhu Yuanbao froze mid-bite, his chopsticks clattering to the ground. His face turned pale as though struck by lightning. "Shadow Wind Horse?" he gasped. She turned to him. "What's wrong with him?" He suppressed a laugh. "He lost 2 Shadow Wind Horses in the city a few days ago." Zhu Yuanbao's head snapped toward Yuqin, who was already trying to slip away. "Yuqin, where are you going?" Princess Wuqing called after her. "Emergency?" Yuqin yelled over her shoulder, fleeing. Zhu Yuanbao's voice boomed after her. "Wait! Tell me where this Shadow Wind Horse meat came from." Yuqin spun around, crossing her arms confidently over her chest. "Ah, this is..." Zhu Yuanbao's rage erupted like a volcano. His eyes blazed as he shouted. "I knew something was wrong when my horses disappeared right after I arrived in Shenzhou City. It was you, you horse thief." Yuqin rolled her eyes. "Why are you so angry? You left them tied on the roadside. How was I supposed to know they were yours?" "You still dare to argue?" he thundered, flames practically leaping from his mouth. "Let's see. You want to fight?" she shot back, equally furious, her voice rising as her chest threatened to burst from her dress. She took an aggressive stance. "What are you going to do about it?" His rage faltered. His eyes flicked downward briefly, and his cheeks turned crimson. You coward," she taunted, smirking. Princess Wuqing's expression darkened as she stepped between them. "Yuqin, you've gone too far." A few moments later, outside the hall, he turned to junior sister Yuqin and remarked, "She doesn't seem to feel guilty. She stole our horse and should be punished." He then addressed Princess Wuqing with a serious expression. "Princess Wuqing, do you mind if I help educate this thief of a junior sister without waiting for a reply?" He reached out, grabbing junior sister Yuqin's wrist. In one swift motion, he pulled her onto his lap, positioning her firmly. She struggled, shouting indignantly, "You ugly man, how dare you!" Ignoring her protests, he raised his hand and delivered a sharp slap to her soft, plump behind. His demeanor was unyielding as he continued the punishment. She cried out in a mix of pain and embarrassment, her face flushed crimson. "Ah!" she yelped repeatedly, tears forming in her eyes as she blushed furiously. Finally breaking free, she ran to Princess Wuqing, throwing her arms around her. "Wah, senior sister, I can't get married now," she wailed. Princess Wuqing sighed, her tone firm. "Well, you were the one who did something wrong. Apologize to the holy son of Tianbao right now, or I'll put you in solitary confinement." Sniffling, junior sister Yuqin turned to Zhu Yuanbao, her voice trembling. "I'm sorry. I shouldn't have stolen your horses." Zhu Yuanbao, tears welling up in his eyes as he recalled his lost Shadow Wind Horses, simply uttered, "Ah." He stepped forward and spoke to Princess Wuqing. "Princess, what would you like me to do now?" Her expression grew serious. "Fellow Taoist Ning Shuai, I need your help to become an empress." His eyes widened in shock. "An empress? Are you planning a rebellion? What's happening?" She shook her head. No, it's not that. You don't understand. What I'm fighting for's the right to inherit the throne. My ambition's not only to break through to the great emperor realm in cultivation, but also to make the supreme divine kingdom peaceful and prosperous as its empress." He nodded slowly. "So, what do you need me to do?" She explained. "This is the forbidden area of the supreme divine kingdom, known as the supreme secret realm." "The place the Queen Mother of the West mentioned?" he asked. "Exactly," she confirmed. "It was created by the founder of the kingdom to cultivate disciples. There's something I urgently need from it. But to retrieve it, I must cross a thunderstorm as powerful as the 8th step of the Thunderwind 9-step terrace. I've tried for years but couldn't get through." His eyes lit up. "So that's why you've been searching for someone who can step onto the 9th step of the Thunderwind 9-step terrace?" She took his hands, her eyes full of determination. "In 2 days, the supreme secret realm will open. I beg you, fellow Taoist Ning Shuai, to accompany me. Whether I can secure my inheritance rights depends on you," he replied. "All right, but princess, shouldn't we discuss the reward?" She smiled. "Of course, you may request anything you want." He thought, I wonder if the thunder heart fruit's a vital treasure or just an ordinary fruit within the secret realm. Suddenly her gaze softened as she looked at his face. For a brief moment, she felt her heart flutter. Quickly she pulled her hands away and turned her face. "Fellow Taoist Ning Shuai," she said stiffly, "don't think of that. It's impossible." He blinked in confusion. "What thing?" Zhu Yuanbao pouted and muttered, "She might have thought of obscure things." He shook his head. "The reward I want simple. 1 thunder heart fruit." Behind him, junior sister Wuqing stood, still sniffling, her behind sore from the punishment. Just then, he felt a strange sensation. A system prompt appeared in his mind. "You've shocked Princess Wuqing. Reward, aura cultivation plus 100. Startled, he muttered to himself, "What's going on?" Princess Wuqing, oblivious to his thoughts, responded with a sigh. "Fellow Taoist Ning Shuai, you're asking for too much." But her mind was already on the challenges ahead within the supreme secret realm. He asked, "Princess Wuqing, what do you mean?" She explained, "The thunder heart fruit tree only produces a few dozen thunder heart fruits every 1,000 years. It's extremely precious. Even our royal family can't obtain it easily. However, since it's a request from fellow Taoist Ning Shuai, I'll do my best to get it for you." He smiled and added, "How about including a heaven-rank martial arts skill and 10 billion spirit coins as well?" She raised an eyebrow. "Will you ask for my life next?" He laughed. "That won't do. My wife'd come and stab me." She looked puzzled. "Wife?" She grew curious, stepped closer and asked, "Fellow Taoist Ning Shuai, do you really have a wife? Who is she? What does she look like?" He replied, "My wife's the Empress of the Heavenly Demonic Sect." She gasped, "Ah, fellow Taoist Ning Shuai, don't joke around. If the Empress is truly your wife, then the legendary patriarch of the Heavenly Demonic Sect's my husband." He smirked. "The patriarch's your husband? How come I didn't know about this?" She crossed her arms. "What, if you can say the Empress is your wife, why can't I claim the patriarch as my husband? He's handsome and revered in countless legendary tales. Thousands of girls worship him as their idol. Who wouldn't want such a husband?" He chuckled. "That's true. The patriarch's indeed handsome, just like me," she whispered under her breath. "So confident. Fellow Taoist Ning Shuai's truly remarkable." She then revealed an object and said, "This is the entrance and exit token for the forbidden area. Fellow Taoist Ning Shuai, you may move freely now. I'll be waiting for you at the Mirror Moon Pavilion." He nodded. "Got it. Holy Sun, let's go." He glanced behind and saw junior sister Wuqing with Zhu Yuanbao grinning, and she said, "How about it, Holy Son of Tianbao? Ain't this horse meat delicious?" Zhu Yuanbao agreed enthusiastically. "This is the best meat I've ever eaten." She added, "Tomorrow, I'll bring all the horses from Tianbao Holy Land. We'll open a shop called—" Before she could finish, both of them burst into laughter, dancing together on top of the table, chanting, "Ha ha ha!" Moments later, he grabbed Zhu Yuanbao and said, "Let's go." Junior sister Wuqing waved goodbye, cheerfully come again guests. A little while later, in their room, Zhu Yuanbao lay on the bed, laughing softly in his sleep. "Ha ha ha! Hey!" He shook his head. "This guy sleeps so soundly." He then muttered to himself, "I'll be entering the supreme secret realm tomorrow. I should seize this chance to practice and improve." As he focused, his aura blazed around him, radiating power. Suddenly, a beam of golden light shot up into the sky, and his energy spread throughout the entire city. At the celestial pavilion of the imperial palace, a man observed the phenomenon with awe. "The divine moon phenomenon. I didn't expect the supreme legend to be true." The man was Qin Haran, the eldest prince. He gazed at the sky, determination gleaming in his eyes. According to the legend, the supreme emperor left a treasure in a secret realm, and the divine moon phenomenon marks its appearance. Once I obtain this treasure, No one will be able to compete with me for the throne. The next day, as he approached the entrance, the soldiers halted him. Stop. No outsiders are allowed to enter. He calmly showed him the emblem. The soldiers quickly straightened up and said, "Oh, so you're Princess Yuling's distinguished guest. We apologize for the offense. Please proceed." He entered and began marching through the area, observing the surroundings. He muttered, "Why are there so many people here?" Suddenly, Princess Yuling appeared and greeted him warmly. "Fellow Taoist Ning Shuai, I've been waiting for you for a long time." Before he could respond, junior sister Yuqin appeared and teased, "Ha ha ha, big bad guy." In the distance, a bystander whispered, "Who's that?" His lady friend glanced at him. "Is he Princess Yuling's guest? He looks ordinary." Princess Yuling smiled and explained, "Today's the opening of the Supreme Secret Realm. All the princes and princesses competent for the right of succession are here with their people." He nodded. "I see." Suddenly the loud exhale of a horse drew their attention. The eldest Prince Tianxuan galloped in at full speed, his expression filled with arrogance. "Scram! Make way for me," he commanded, riding his horse straight into another person, knocking him aside. A girl beside him, Qin Yuemei, sneered at the fallen person. "You can't even avoid a carriage. Trash, get out of here and don't block my big brother's path." He frowned. Who are these arrogant people? He recognized him instantly. That's the eldest prince, Qin Haran, and his sister, Qin Yuemei. They share the same mother. Qin Haran's the first son of the Lord of the Supreme Divine Kingdom, and is just one step away from reaching the celestial realm. He's also one of my biggest opponents. It's best to avoid a direct confrontation with him until we secure the treasure. Suddenly, an intense pressure filled the room, making it difficult to breathe. Junior sister Yuqin gasped, "Be big, sister. I can't breathe." Princess Yuling's eyes widened in alarm. "It's the third Uncle Qin Feng. He's a powerful, immortal emperor. It's understandable if you can't withstand this pressure." She glanced at him. "But you're standing there unfazed. How are you not reacting?" He quickly feigned shock. Yes, I'm in shock." Internally, he thought, "There's so many masters around. Do I need to react every time one of them shows off their power?" At that moment, Qin Feng descended from above, radiating a golden aura. He landed gracefully, his presence commanding the attention of everyone present. "Is everyone here?" Qin Feng asked, his deep voice echoing through the hall. Qin Haran stepped forward and replied, "Third uncle, everyone's present. We can now open the Supreme Secret Realm." Qin Feng nodded and revealed a large crystal stone holding it aloft. "Crystal stone," he announced, as the stone expanded, growing massive in size. He observed quietly. The crystal stone contains a tremendous amount of aura, but its output's minimal, making it incredibly precious. The Supreme Divine Kingdom possesses such a large piece, opening the Supreme Secret Realm must come at a great cost. The crystal stone suddenly shot upward, releasing a beam of energy. A massive door materialized in the sky, glowing with radiant light. He watched intently. The Supreme Secret Realm. It's finally opening. Qin Feng's voice boomed as he pointed toward the door. "Open the gate and enter the secret realm, Demon General." Third Uncle Qin Feng said, "By the way, the secret realm lasts for 2 days. When the time's up, you'll be teleported back. There's no need to deliberately go deeper into its depths. Just focus on becoming stronger." Qin Yuemei sneered. "Ha, a bunch of trash, and you think you can become stronger." With that, Qin Yuemei and the eldest prince, Qin Haran, entered the secret realm. Junior sister Yuqin pouted, "Boo-hoo!" The ugly-faced Ning Tian grumbled, "So arrogant. Why didn't you steal their horse too? I think his precious horse looks nice." Junior sister Yuqin shook her head. "Although your suggestion's good, you're such a big bad guy." "I, Yuqin, am a disciple of the Misty sect. How could I stoop to something as dishonorable as stealing horses?" She spat to emphasize her point. Meanwhile, at the back, Zhu Yanbao listened silently, missing his own horses. He scoffed. "Misty? I've never heard of that sect. Princess Wuqing joined the conversation. You haven't? The Misty Sect isn't in the heavenly spiritual domain, but in the heavenly sky domain, far away from the supreme divine kingdom. It's normal for fellow Taoist Ning Shuai not to know about it. Heavenly sky domain? Heavenly spiritual domain, he mused. I see, Princess Wuqing urged. Let's go now. He thought, she's clearly a princess in this domain. Why would she join a sect in the distant heavenly sky domain? Whatever, I'll figure it out later. As they entered the secret realm, a few moments later, he stumbled out of the portal. This is the inside of the secret realm, he murmured. Suddenly, he lost his balance, fallen from the sky. Damn it, he shouted as he crashed to the ground with a loud thud. Junior Sister Wuqing landed gracefully and worriedly said, Senior Sister, I hope he didn't fall to his death. Princess Wuqing also landed and remarked, That would be a shame. With a smirk, she added, Fellow Taoist Ning Shuai, if you don't make it, I'll wait until the secret realm ends and burn a few pretty paper wives for you. Groaning, he sat up, his ugly face bruised but intact. I just lost my balance and couldn't react in time. That was terrifying. Junior Sister Wuqing gasped. What a charlatan! Princess Wuqing, startled, stared as her chest heaved. At a height of several thousand meters, he fell straight down yet emerged unscathed, she thought. He touched his face, muttering, Good thing my face hit the floor first, otherwise I'd be in pieces. Princess Wuqing asked, Fellow Taoist Ning Shuai, are you okay? Yes, I'm fine, he replied with a laugh. This secret realm's truly something. The aura here's much richer than outside. She agreed. Yes, it's an excellent place for cultivation. He, noticing something in the distance, pointed. What's that? A little dragon man? She burst out laughing. A little dragon man? That's the demon general, a figure carved into a statue. The supreme ancestor of the supreme divine kingdom defeated him hundreds of years ago and left his image here as a reminder. Demon general, he repeated, confused. He thought, System, why didn't I know there's demons in this world? I thought only humans and beasts existed. A prompt popped up in his mind. Host, your original body's merely a minor character in this world. The knowledge he has of the heavenly profound world's incomplete. She added, Fellow Taoist Ning Shuai, you seem close to the holy son of Tianbao. Don't you know about the demon general of the demon clan? Junior Sister Wuqing chimed in. Yes. Are you really from the heavenly profound world? Scratching his head, he replied, I usually focus only on cultivation and rarely pay attention to worldly affairs, so, she explained. In this world, there's thousands of races. After the Dark Riot, a three-way confrontation was formed between the human race, demon race, and beast race. Each race guards its own territory. For example, the heavenly spiritual domains controlled by the human race, the heavenly sky domains mostly ruled by beasts, and the demon generals of the demon race are comparable to God realm humans. Junior Sister Wuqing wiped her sweat and sighed. I really envy your heavenly spiritual domain. It's not like our heavenly sky domain. We have to go out regularly to carry out extermination missions, sect tasks. It's so exhausting. He asked. So what exactly is the Dark Riot? She shook her head. I'm not sure about the details, but this is how it's recorded in the ancient texts. Junior Sister Wuqing added, It happened so long ago. Millions of years ago, I heard. The group began running. Princess Wuqing pointed ahead. Fellow Taoist Ning Shuai, after passing this statue, we'll reach the lightning cliff. What I'm looking for's there. Lightning crackled, illuminating the forest in bursts of violet energy. She stopped and said, Fellow Taoist Ning Shuai, this is as close as we can get. He frowned. So what do I do now? She gestured toward the distance. You just need to pass through this minefield and retrieve the item within the purple light sphere. Suddenly, a bolt of purple lightning struck near him, the impact sending a shockwave through the ground. he muttered. To enter this scorched minefield with my physique and resist the purple lightning. He thought, no wonder the princess couldn't succeed. This minefield alone's enough to make a celestial realm cultivator suffer, and the purple lightning on the cliffs even more terrifying than this. Junior Sister Wuqing trembled, her chest wiggling as she whispered, Senior Sister, do we really have to do this? What if the big bad guy gets electrocuted and turns into charcoal? Princess Wuqing reassured him. Although you performed well on the Thunderwind 9-step terrace, fellow Taoist Ning Shuai, you're still at the Earth King realm. Do your best. Even if you fail, I'll still give you the Thunderheart fruit, as promised. He stepped forward confidently. I don't like owing favors. Since I promised, I'll see it through. She blushed faintly as she watched him. He glanced back at her, his scarred face somehow sparkling in the light. At that moment, Qin Yuemei and the eldest prince, Qin Horan, arrived. Qin Yuemei sneered. I was wondering who'd be so arrogant as to try seizing the treasure of the lightning cliff. So it's you, big sister. Tell me, why would you bring along a kid at the Earth King realm as your aide? Could it be he's your kept gigolo? Aren't you afraid he'll die here? Princess Wuqing flushed with anger. Yuemei, what nonsense are you spouting? Before anyone could react, his expression darkened. In a flash, he dashed toward Qin Yuemei and Qin Haoran, his speed leaving the prince stunned. So fast! Qin Haoran exclaimed in disbelief. He sneered. It takes only one mouth to spread a rumor, but it takes a lot of effort to refute it. Do you understand? Qin Yuemei barely had time to process before his scarred face was inches from hers. Traumatized, she froze as his hand connected with her smooth, pale cheek in a resounding slap. Qin Haoran shouted, You dare strike her right in front of me! Looks like you're tired of living! As Qin Haoran lunged toward him, he nimbly dodged the attack. Qin Haoran, stunned, thought, What? He managed to evade me at such close range, and he's moving freely under my pressure. He landed gracefully, a satisfied smirk on his face. A system prompt rang out. You've shocked the eldest Prince Qin Haoran, you've shocked Princess Wuqing, you've shocked Wuqing. Reward, Tao of Music, the Song of Thunder Tribulation. The Song of Thunder Tribulation, a melody imbued with the Tao of music, capable of absorbing the divine thunder Tao rhythm from thunder tribulations. He chuckled inwardly. I didn't expect such a pleasant surprise. Clutching her bruised cheek, Qin Yuemei wailed, Brother, look at his face! Kill him immediately! Qin Haoran's eyes narrowed as he evaluated him. This kid ain't simple. I haven't even secured the treasure yet, and I'm already wasting energy on a pointless fight. Why not let him scout the lightning cliff for me? He might even find the treasure. Qin Haoran smirked slyly. Wuqing, we're siblings after all. If that guy's one of your subordinates, I don't mind giving you a favor. The eldest prince, Qin Haoran, smirked. If he can pass the Thundercliff alone, we'll leave it at that. How about it? He nodded, confidently sure. It's a promise. To himself, he thought. After all, you're the supreme divine kingdom's eldest son. I don't wish to offend the kingdom or cause trouble for my wife. But if you can't handle the Thundercliff on your own, don't expect me to go easy. Qin Haoran sneered inwardly. You brat, even if you've got some secret method, you're still only at the Earth King realm. The power of the Thundercliff's enough to kill you thousands of times over. He moved forward, his expression serious as his power surged around him. Junior Sister Wuqing watched in amazement. This big bad guy looks so calm. Qin Haoran scoffed. Ha! It's just the beginning. The very center of the scorched earth minefield contains the remnants of the Supreme Ancestor's divine thunder. He thought, System, is it true that the Supreme Ancestor left behind the divine thunder Tao rhythm here? The system's prompt appeared. Naturally, the host can use the Song of Thunder Tribulation to sense and absorb it. He sighed inwardly. This won't be simple. He took out his guqin. Absolute guqin, he declared. Junior Sister Wuqing tilted her head. He's playing music at a time like this. Princess Wuqing's eyes narrowed. No, that's not just any instrument. He's wielding a magical weapon. Fellow Taoist Ning Shuai's extraordinary. He plucked a string and commanded, "Thunder tribulation." The Guqin surged with power, a golden light emanating from him. Suddenly, a dragon made of lightning emerged, roaring as it spiraled into the sky. Princess Wuqing gasped. It's the divine thunder Tao rhythm. He actually activated the rhythm left by the supreme ancestor during the thunder tribulation. Another voice entered the scene. Xiao Yao, Holy Sun, watching from afar, murmured, "It's not easy to control the thunder dragon using the Tao of music. That's remarkable." Lightning rained down upon him. Princess Wuqing glanced at another figure in the distance. Even the Xiao Yao Holy Sun's paying attention. Xiao Yao Holy Sun added, "The thunder dragon's incredibly powerful. It might even be tied to the legendary treasure of Shen Yu. Of course, I won't miss this opportunity." Qin Horan, his eyes filled with greed, thought, "If the legendary treasure truly appears, don't blame me for being ruthless." As the thunder dragon continued its assault, he calculated his next move. These lightning bolts are attracted to sound and gather together. Fine, I'll catch 'em all in one strike. He plucked his Guqin with precision, releasing a burst of golden energy that clashed with the thunder dragon. The energy transformed into golden dragons, born from his Guqin, and began devouring the thunder dragon. Junior sister Wuqing watched in awe. How strange. Why do the lightning bolts seem to be shrinking? Xiao Yao Holy Sun's eyes gleamed. He's refining the thunder tribulation dragon. What an audacious move. Qin Horan was stunned. He's trying to absorb the divine thunder Tao rhythm left by the supreme ancestor. Princess Wuqing's eyes widened in realization. Could it be, as third uncle said, he's already stepped onto the 9th step of the Thunder Wind 9-step terrace? He, like a rock star commanding his stage, played his Guqin with wild intensity. His golden dragons consumed the thunder dragon entirely. With a final note, his energy surged as he stood tall, his presence overwhelming. System prompt. Congratulations to the host for absorbing the divine thunder Tao rhythm and reaching a new level in the Thunderwind Tao. The Thunderwind Tao's reached its peak stage. The host can now master the immense power of lightning attacks. System prompt. You've shocked the Supreme Divine King's eldest prince Qin Horan. You've shocked Princess Wuqing. You've shocked Junior Sister Yuqin. You've shocked the Xiao Yao Holy Sun Juji Yu. You've shocked everyone. Advanced achievement unlocked. The Song of Thunder Tribulation. Reward, Celestial Realm XP card. Celestial Realm XP card grants celestial power for 2 days. Afterward, the card becomes invalid. He smiled faintly. Not bad at all. His gaze shifted to the top of the mountain. That must be what Princess Wuqing's after. Mounting his golden dragon. He soared toward the source of the lightning. As he approached the sphere of energy, he muttered, "Oh, you still want to resist? Fine, come here." With a burst of energy, he grasped the lightning sphere. He activated an advanced Earth rank skill, Divine Thunder. He glanced down at Princess Wuqing and shouted, "Princess Wuqing, I've got what you wanted." As he descended, a sudden chill ran down his spine. "Watch out, Ning Shuai," Princess Wuqing yelled. Qin Haran's eyes narrowed. Could it be that the legendary treasure's finally revealing itself? A voice echoed through the cliffs. It's been tens of thousands of years. Finally, someone's awakened my imperial soul, left dormant in the supreme secret realm. Everyone froze in shock. Qin Haoran, Xiao Yao Holy Sun, Princess Wuqing, and Junior Sister Yuqin all dropped to their knees greetings to the Supreme Ancestor, they chorused. The Supreme Ancestor's voice thundered again. "And you, why do you not bow?" He stood firm, his ugly face fearless. "You're just a remnant soul," he said coldly. "What are you talking about?" The energy of the Supreme Ancestor rippled outward, shocking even the great Shenzhou city far beyond the cliffs. As the others knelt before the presence of the Supreme Ancestor, he remained standing. Princess Wuqing thought, Master Ning Shuai somehow awakened the soul of the old ancestor. What type of god is he? The eldest prince, Qin Haran, thought, I never thought there'd still be any souls of his direct ancestors here. He must have some sort of connection with the legend of the divine moon's treasure. The supreme ancestor said to him, "An insignificant yellow-haired brat dares to be this arrogant." He was shocked and thought, "Wait, on the brat's body, the emperor's energy's there." As he casually picked his earwax, the supreme ancestor thought, "With the great emperor's protection, it seems like the descendants who didn't go into the heavenly spiritual domain didn't slack off either. The country's power's definitely getting stronger by the day." As he flicked the earwax off his finger, the supreme ancestor said, "Whatever, since you're the one who awakened me, a direct ancestor, I won't look further into this." And he landed on the ground. He wide-eyed said in confusion, "When did I awaken you?" The supreme ancestor said, "You don't know. Thousands of years ago, I left the legend of the divine moon, which said, 'Sweep the snowstorms, and the souls of the deceased awaken.'" The eldest prince, Tianxuan, thought, "So the treasure, in the legend of the divine moon's something our direct ancestors really left." He said, "I've never heard of it before." The supreme ancestor said, "You brat, looking at your bones and energy, it's a 1 in a trillion talent, and I've got a secret book for you." He laughed. "Ha ha ha! You old man, your script's a little old-fashioned, ain't it?" As he pointed at the supreme ancestor and began laughing. The supreme ancestor, confused, said, "An old man? This is a priceless mid-grade hand-to-hand combat manual, the Supreme Chaos Cloud Technique." He said, "Priceless mid-grade hand-to-hand combat manual? Old man, are you trying to scam me?" The supreme ancestor said, "Ancestor, how am I supposed to defend against the descendants who didn't go into the heavenly spiritual domain? Now I'm placing this Supreme Chaos Cloud Technique in your hands. The future of the Supreme Heavenly Domain will now be in your hands." He said, "Ancestor, do not worry. With this Supreme Chaos Cloud Technique, I'll definitely protect our Supreme Heavenly Domain." The eldest prince, Tianxuan, said in shock, "Old ancestor, that person isn't the descendant of the Supreme Heavenly Domain. He doesn't deserve to inherit this from you." Qin Yuamei, her face still swollen from his slap, said, "Right, he's only an annoying brat with an unknown history." The supreme ancestor, confused, said, "What?" He took the book immediately and said, "Thanks, man." The supreme ancestor said, "You impudent little thief. You dare lie to an ancestor." He said, "I never said if I'm someone who didn't enter the Supreme Heavenly Domain, but since you said you wanted to give this to me, then you can't take back your words. Am I right?" A system prompt said, "Inspecting absorbed princess mid-grade martial arts. Supreme Chaos Cloud Fist, 10-fold comprehension." A system prompt said, "Supreme Chaos Cloud Fist, comprehension successful." As he levitated in golden aura and his power intensified, the supreme ancestor said, "Forget it, even though he's not a descendant who didn't go up the supreme heavenly realm. Fate's involved in our meeting. All this is predestined by fate." As the supreme ancestor ascended and vanished, a few moments later, the eldest prince, Tianxuan, suddenly walked near him and said, "You brat, give us the Supreme Chaos Cloud Fist back." Junior sister Wuqing said, "Senior sister, what do we do? The eldest prince is at the top of the immortal emperor realm. That bad guy ain't his enemy, right?" Princess Wuqing said, "The Supreme Chaos Cloud Fist still our direct ancestor's famous finishing move. Tianxuan definitely won't let this go." He said, "Have your brains been soaking in water? Whatever I eat, only an idiot spit it out." Tianxuan said, "Then you arrogant little brat, don't blame me for not being merciful." Princess Wuqing said, "Master Ning Shuai, you should still give it back, otherwise I won't be able to protect you." He said, "Don't worry, he can't help himself." Tianxuan suddenly burst into his crimson aura in anger and said, "You're rather arrogant." Junior sister Wuqing said, "This is bad. That big bad guy's going to explode." Princess Wuqing said, With his energy, it's no wonder his power's greater than mine. Qin Haran charged at him and shouted, "Go and die!" His eyes became serious and sharp, and he thought, "System, use the God Realm card." A system prompt said, "Currently using God Realm card. God Realm card usage complete. You've gained a 1-star God Realm physique. Usage time 2 days." Suddenly his eyes became gold, and Qin Haran was shocked. As his aura alone made Qin Haran slide back from the intense power, he couldn't even penetrate the aura. As he tried to grab him, but he smirked and stared at Qin Haran and said, "Leave!" And he gestured his hand towards Qin Haran to leave. Suddenly Qin Haran flew away without him even touching him, as he flew like a bullet towards the wall, and he spat in pain, saying, "Koh, God Realm, ain't he the Earth-kind realm?" A system prompt said, "You've shocked the crowd, rewarding you with aura cultivation plus 100. He looked at his hands and thought, "I never thought this supreme chaos cloud fist so powerful. I only used 1/10 of it, and it's already so powerful. Then, wouldn't it be possible to copy this supreme secret realm a few times?" Outside, a cultivator said, "Who knows this time? Who'd be the one to stand out?" His gay friend said, "I think it's the eldest prince, Qin Haran. He's the strongest person to enter the secret realm." Their blind friend said, "Not necessarily. Even in the supreme secret realm, fated chances are important." As the opening suddenly was active in magic, third uncle, Qin Feng, said, "What's happening?" As an ugly Ning Tian walked outside the portal, third uncle, Qin Feng, said, Who's that?" As he emerged, a godly aura surrounded him. The gate erupted with golden energy, and he shot towards the crowd, along with the other people who'd entered the gates. A voice shouted, "Move aside! Don't fight against the divine palace!" The crowd was startled as the people who'd emerged from the portal were scattered, dropping to the ground. They collided with one another, groaning in pain. "Ow!" Suddenly, Princess Wuqing and junior sister Yuqin appeared. He looked back at him. Third uncle Qin Feng said, "What happened to you both? How is it that you came out together but still got hurt?" The eldest prince, Qin Haran, struggled to stand, wincing in pain. He pointed at him and shouted, "That bastard lied to the old ancestor's soul and took the supreme chaos cloud fist." Third uncle Qin Feng was shocked. "The supreme chaos cloud fist?" An angry voice rang out. "Third prince, he also took all of the secret realm's treasures and left it completely empty." His friend added, "That's right. I was waiting to stop him from doing something so underhanded, but I got beaten up." Qin Haran shouted, "Father, please teach that brat a lesson." He, looking still displeased, said, "I helped you all clean up the rubbish inside the supreme secret realm, and I even gave you a facial massage for free. Why do you all show no gratitude?" Qin Haran retorted, "You've got some nerve standing there and not moving. I'm gonna end your life. Hide back in the secret crate." His friend, a man who seemed particularly hostile, added, "Right, capture him. I want him to turn into a pig's head." He mocked her. Suddenly, multiple copies of him charged towards them. "Hey, hey, hey! You think I'm going to be as stupid as you?" As they tried to chase him down, a man with a scar on his eye said, "Palace Emperor, what do we do now?" Third uncle, Qin Feng, said, "How in the world can the things the ancestors left fall into an outsider's hands? Chase him." Junior sister Yuqin turned to Princess Wuqing and said, "Sister, what do we do? The bad guy's going to be caught, and it'd definitely be bad for him." Princess Wuqing responded, "Whether we knew him all along or not, if Master Ning Shuai's caught, I'll do my best to protect him." Suddenly he stepped onto a roof and jumped away. Someone in the crowd said, "Who's that? So many people are chasing that guy." His hostile friend said, "A rapist?" A sexy girl in the crowd remarked, "I think he did something to offend the gods." As he continued to flee with others chasing him, he looked back and said, "Holy hell! Are the people who didn't go up to the celestial pavilion crazy? Why are more people chasing me?" Suddenly, Zhu Yuanbao tossed an apple towards him and called out, "Mr. Ning, take this." He caught the apple, looking confused, and said, "An apple?" Zhu Yuanbao explained, "It's to boost your strength." He bit into it and said, "Thanks." An angry man chasing after him sneered, "You still have the mood to eat an apple. You really are that arrogant." Suddenly, he was struck by the remains of the apple and cried out in pain, "Ow!" He mocked him, saying, "Come on then, chase me. If you can catch me, I'll let you nin-nin-nin-ni." 2 hours later, he said, You guys really didn't need to work so hard." A system prompt chimed. "System? How much time's left on the God Realm XP card?" The system responded, "God Realm XP card, 1 last hour." Chinharan said, Run, try running again." His gay friend, exhausted, said, "Is this guy a dog? He can run so far." His blind friend pointed at him and said, "How does it feel, you freak, being caught? And you're still saying hey." Chinharan shouted, "You bastard, I'll make you mute after this." He, in blazing fiery fury, shouted, "Scram!" As the crowd chasing after him was blasted away by his intense aura, Chinharan, shocked, said, "God Realm!" His friend was knocked down to the ground. He, with his powerful strength, said, "Now it's my turn, ain't it? Palm technique, using Thunderwind Dao." He shot at Chinharan as he was surrounded by flames. Suddenly, an old man blocked his attack and shouted, "Don't you goddamn dare!" He looked down on the celestial pavilion and was still hurting others. "Does he owe something to the people who didn't go up here?" Chinharan said, "Liu Yushi, I don't know where that little thief came from. Stealing the Supreme Secret Realm's treasures. You should not let him get away." Liu Yushi replied, "I'm in charge of protecting the Celestial Pavilion's orders, and those who dare to disobey this order, I won't let go of easily." He charged forward at him. He evaded and said, "I've beaten Emperor Realm fighters. I'm not afraid of an old man with a Sky King realm." He charged his godly aura, and his hand grew enormous as he pointed at Liu Yushi. Liu Yushi sweated in fear and said, "This energy is ancestral energy." Chinharan said, "How is this possible? You obtained the Supreme Chaos Cloud technique yesterday. How did you train it up to that extent already?" A system prompt rang, "You've shocked the 100th princes. You've shocked the Celestial Pavilion cultivators. You've shocked Liu Yushi, rewarding you with a skill card, Berserk Battle Spirit card." Another system prompt appeared, activating Berserk Battle Spirit card. He said, "Sorry to bother you, but everything impossible is happening to me, which means it is possible." He shot at Liu Yushi, and Liu Yushi blocked it. A system prompt chimed, "Berserk Battle Spirit card, after use, within 1 hour, fighting abilities doubled. After usage, this card will be unusable." Liu Yushi was blasted away, crashing through multiple buildings and creating a massive hole in his path. He stood silently as someone arrived behind him. "Third uncle," Qinfeng said, "this kid's energy's impressive." He thought, "Tisk, I finally shocked the God Realm user." The Supreme Sovereign personally arrived. Third Uncle Qinfeng said to him, "How about you follow me to the forbidden area of the royal palace so we can have a proper discussion?" Chinharan sneered and said, "Brat, my third royal uncle's a divine emperor, a powerful being in the sovereign realm. In his hands, you won't escape, even with wings." Third Uncle Qinfeng shouted, "Silence! This young friend's a guest of the Supreme Divine Kingdom. We should treat him with courtesy," as his aura surged violently. He replied with a smirk, "Ha! Follow you back. I'd rather—" and unleashed his own overwhelming aura. A system prompt chimed. "Ding! The trial card of the heavenly group has expired," he muttered. "All right." Third Uncle Qinfeng, sensing the shift, became serious and burst into his full power. He said, "Let us go, young friend." He sighed inwardly. Why does it have to end at this exact moment? Suddenly, a beam of light shot down in front of him, illuminating the floor. Third Uncle Qinfeng narrowed his eyes and said, "I wonder which great emperor's taken action. Can you show yourself?" Chinharan glanced at the sky and exclaimed, "A great emperor's arrived," his companion added excitedly. "Not only did a sovereign realm expert appear, but now a great emperor's come as well. What kind of day's this? It's so lively!" In the sky, a radiant and alluring figure appeared. It was the Queen Mother of the West. Qin Feng gasped in disbelief. "Master of the Jade Pool?" He, recognizing her, asked, "Why are you here? I thought you'd already left." She landed gracefully beside him and replied, "Since you didn't leave, of course, I wouldn't leave either." Third Uncle Qin Feng pondered silently. The Master of the Jade Pool's a genuine great emperor, with strength comparable to the ruler of our divine kingdom. Who exactly is this boy to have such a powerful figure backing him? Out loud, Qin Feng asked, "Greetings, Jade Pool Master. May I inquire who this young friend is to you?" The Queen Mother of the West glared coldly at him and said, "What business is it of yours?" Qin Feng quickly backtracked. No, Qin Feng's but a humble 2-star quasi-emperor and wouldn't dare interfere with the master. I'm merely concerned about potential misunderstandings. She replied icily, "Sometimes being overly curious ain't a good thing. You only need to know that I'm aiding your supreme divine kingdom." Qin Feng was taken aback. "Aiding me? By turning your back on me?" Before anyone could react further, Ning Tian found himself in an awkward situation. His face was suddenly pressed against the Queen Mother of the West's soft chest, leaving him completely flustered. She pressed his head into her generous cleavage and declared coldly, "If you harm him, even the ruler of the divine kingdom may not be able to protect you." He groaned inwardly. "Hey, don't take advantage of the situation." Third Uncle Qin Feng's aura flared as he protested, "Jade Pool Master, why must you bully the younger generation?" The Queen Mother and Ning Tian both stared silently at Qin Feng. Meanwhile, he, still resting his head against her soft chest, appeared strangely at peace. A distant shout broke the silence. "The ruler's arrived!" A seductive woman with bouncing curves chimed in. "The ruler of our kingdom's here!" The murmurs grew louder. "The ruler of the divine kingdom's come. Surely the Jade Pool Master will restrain herself now." As everyone turned their gaze skyward, she smirked. "So, the ruler of the divine kingdom's arrived as well." Descending majestically, the ruler addressed her. "I understand the situation, Queen Mother of the West. As far as I recall, your Jade Pool sacred land doesn't accept male disciples. This matter should have nothing to do with you." She stepped forward confidently, her chest held high with pride. "He may not be my disciple, but today I'm determined to protect him." A blind man in the crowd muttered, "He can even make a great emperor shield him. Who's this man?" Junior Sister Wuqing exclaimed joyfully. "Senior Sister, this person seems extraordinary," Princess Yuling, shocked, asked. "Fellow Taoist Ning Shu, who exactly are you?" The ruler's expression darkened. "Queen Mother of the West, are you provoking us? Do you intend to start a war with the supreme divine kingdom?" She replied with a sharp edge. "Divine ruler, as I recall, your kingdom's already at war with the barbarians outside the divine continent. Or are you implying that the supreme divine kingdom can afford to offend 2 great emperors at once?" The ruler frowned in confusion. "What do you mean by that?" With a knowing smile, she explained. "Behind him's another, a female emperor who's fiercely protective of her own." The ruler gasped inwardly. A female emperor. Could it be her? Turning to Ning Tian, she said, "Am I right?" He sighed. "I just wanted to come quietly, but reality won't allow it," and slowly removed his mask. Gasps erupted from the crowd. The eldest prince, Qin Haoren, exclaimed, "Hiss! This boy's actually handsome!" The women in the crowd swooned, and one with a curvaceous figure and brown hair said dreamily, "Truly, a man as radiant as jade, unrivaled in the world." Her friend with violet hair and an even fuller figure declared, "Who is he? I must marry him." Another woman with a gentle demeanor and an equally striking presence added, "I know who he is. He's the legendary patriarch of the heavenly demon sect." Shock rippled through the crowd. A boy stammered, "What?" Princess Yuling's eyes widened. "He's the legendary patriarch, Ning Tian." Junior Sister Wuqing scratched her head nervously. "Senior Sister, So the legendary patriarch's this handsome, a system prompt chimed. You've shocked the princes and princesses. Your appearance has astonished the cultivators of the divine continent. Teaching ability upgrade. You're now an imperial mentor. He wiped the sweat from his brow. Ain't it just being a bit more handsome? Is all this excitement really necessary? The ruler thought grimly. Not long ago, Sword Ren from the Sword Sect injured Ning Tian, leading to the sect's destruction. One heavenly demon sect's already troublesome enough, and now the Jade Pool Master's involved as well. I'll let this slide for now. Aloud he announced, since it's the Patriarch's honourable visit, all opportunities in the Supreme Secret Realm will be considered a welcoming gift. I won't investigate any further. The Queen Mother leaned close to him and whispered, Patriarch, you've gained enough benefits. Return the item to him now. He sighed. Makes sense. Judging by his expression, if I don't, he might really lose it. Taking out a book, he said. Fine. I'll give it back. The ruler accepted the book and scanned its contents, but his expression changed drastically. Ning Tian, what's this? What are you up to? He hurled the book back. He caught it, confused. Looking down, he read the title, The Wordless Heavenly Book. Ning Tian said, Do you think I've got the capability to tamper with a great emperor's relic? The ruler scoffed. Everyone knows you've already mastered the supreme primordial palm. How do you explain this wordless heavenly book? He replied, It was already like this when I obtained it. How about we make a bet? The ruler raised an eyebrow. A bet. He nodded. If your kingdom's disciples can figure out even a hint of the supreme primordial palm's cultivation method within 3 days, I'll return everything I obtained from the supreme secret realm. The ruler asked skeptically, Are you serious? Of course, he said, but if your disciples fail to comprehend it within 3 days, then let me teach one of them how to learn it. The ruler narrowed his eyes. Would you be so kind as to teach our people? Of course, it won't be free, he replied with a smirk. 100 billion spirit coins and 3,000 crystal essence stones as the tuition fee should suffice. The crowd was shocked. A man with a scar over his eye exclaimed, 100 billion. His companion muttered, Why don't you just make an outrageous demand while you're at it? The ruler sighed. We're currently at war with the barbarians, and the national treasury can't be squandered so casually. He shrugged. Seems like there's difficulties. All right, then 50 billion spirit coins and 5,000 crystal essence stones. How about that? Quite sincere, wouldn't you say? He watched the ruler and his officials sweat, silent under his gaze. The ruler finally said, As expected from the legendary patriarch of the heavenly demon sect, whose fame's been rising recently, a wager. I accept. He leaped away with the Queen Mother. In that case, 3 days later, let's wait and see. I hope the ruler won't go back on his word. In a distant corner, Qin Horan whispered to third Uncle Qin Feng, Father, this guy's really scheming. Could he be trying to set us up? Third uncle replied, No matter. I refuse to believe that in such a vast supreme divine kingdom we won't find a single disciple who can comprehend a heaven-tier material within 3 days. When he and the Queen Mother landed, she asked, If they really manage to comprehend it, are you truly willing to return all the treasures? He smirked. The supreme primordial palms derive from the wordless heavenly book. Without any written guidance, entering its practice relies entirely on one word, enlightenment. To gain enlightenment within 3 days is akin to ascending to heaven. Suddenly, Princess Wuqing approached. Fellow Taoist Ning Tian, no. I should call you Patriarch now, the Queen Mother teased. Patriarch? While Lua Wuqing's away, have you fallen for a few more young girls? Both Princess Wuqing and junior sister Yuqin turned crimson, clearly shocked. He shot the Queen Mother a glare. Wicked woman. If you keep talking nonsense, believe it or not, I'll give you a proper lesson. She chuckled. Come on then, show me how you'll properly teach me a lesson. He sighed. All right, I'm a decent person. Just go already, she laughed. A decent person? Hurry up and finish, I'll be waiting for you at the inn. Princess Wuqing remarked, I didn't expect the patriarch to have such a close relationship with the Queen Mother of the West. He shook his head. It's nothing like that. This woman just likes to tease me all the time. Junior Sister Wuqing chimed in. I didn't expect your ugliness to be a disguise. You're actually quite handsome, he raised an eyebrow. What's wrong? Don't tell me you've fallen for this face of mine. When travelling outside, one must always keep a low profile. She scoffed. Bah! I've simply gotten used to your ugliness, and ain't yet accustomed to your handsomeness. Princess Wuqing suddenly brought out a box. Here's the Thunderheart fruit I promised you, but Patriarch, be careful. The Thunderheart fruit contains intense lightning energy and must be stored in a box made of ancient insulatin wood to prevent harm. He took the box with a calm expression. It's fine, he said. When he opened it, the Thunderheart fruit emerged, radiating an electrifying power that filled the air. He gazed at it in awe. Ha! He exclaimed, releasing his aura. Suddenly a dragon materialized from his energy, coiling majestically around him. A mere trace of lightning energy, he said dismissively, nothing worth mentioning. The dragon roared and lunged at the Thunderheart fruit, devouring it in a single gulp. Ark! Ark! The dragon growled, its form pulsating with lightning energy before disappearing into his aura. Princess Wuqing looked on in surprise. Patriarch, what's this adorable little creature? It's nothing, he replied casually, just the way of divine thunder. Junior Sister Wuqing's eyes widened in disbelief. Heavenly thunder resonance, and yet you speak of it so lightly. He, deep in thought, muttered to himself, now that I've got the Thunderheart fruit, I only need one more ingredient. Turning to the two women, he said, Thank you both. If there's nothing else, I'll take my leave. Princess Wuqing nodded. Yes, but Patriarch, back then, you really stepped onto the 9th level of the wind and thunder 9 steps, didn't you? He paused, looking over his shoulder. Whether I did or not ain't important anymore. With that, he walked away. Junior Sister Wuqing called after him, waving, I'll be waiting for you in the Supreme Realm. I'll treat you to all the delicacies of the mountains and seas. He glanced back with a faint smile. We'll see. If fate allows, we'll meet again. A short while later, at the Yingmu Inn, he opened the door to his room. Patriarch, a seductive voice purred. He froze, stunned to see the Queen Mother of the West lounging seductively on his bed. With a mischievous glint in her eyes, she chuckled softly. How about we play something a little different? She posed provocatively, her charm filling the room. He stood motionless, his expression unreadable. She rose gracefully and approached him, her aura bewitching. Tell me, why did you blackmail the Supreme Divine Kingdom? He, momentarily caught in her spell, stammered. She smirked and leaned in closer, their foreheads almost touching. But his composure snapped back. He grabbed her wrist firmly, his voice sharp. Queen Mother, it seems the last lesson wasn't enough for you. She struggled, her body trembling alluringly. Ning Tian, you brat. Let me go. He smirked, unyielding. Not until you've learned to behave. She glared at him, her defiance mixed with a flush of colour as the Patriarch's unconventional lesson began. He suddenly slapped the full and soft, firm butt cheeks of the Queen Mother of the West, and she said in pain and pleasure, Ah! As her sexy body jiggled, she suddenly used her skill, making him fly away. He thought, oh no, could it be? Did she get mad because I slapped her butt twice? Dow she ain't here today. If she loses her temper, no one'll help me out. She thought to herself, damn it, getting hit twice by this brat, and now I'm feeling this strange. He suddenly breathed deep and said, if you want to know why I bet against the Supreme Lord, just ask directly. Why test me like this? She said, all right, then tell me, why blackmail him for 5 billion spirit coins? You've got some nerve asking for that much. He said, do you think 5 billion's a lot for someone like me? Don't act like I don't know. You're just as much of a rich woman as my wife. She said, for me, 5 billion spirit coins ain't much, but 5,000 crystal spirit stones. That's a different story. Crystal spirit stones, infused with abundant spiritual energy, are incredibly rare. Their value far exceeds that of spirit coins. Then why do you need so many crystal stones? What are you planning? He said. I think the Heavenly Demon sect could form an alliance with the Yaoqi Sanctuary. Then we could establish a small teleportation pillar between them. She said. Teleportation pillar? He said. It's said that large teleportation pillars can cross continents in the heavenly spirit realm, but their energy consumption's massive. No one can usually afford to activate them, so they just sit there collecting dust. But small teleportation pillars are more practical. They can cover the distance of a single province. Currently, the Yaoqi Sanctuary and the Heavenly Demon sect have got a good relationship. If we can build such a pillar, it'll make mutual aid more convenient in the future. She thought and said, and said to herself, throughout history, it's not uncommon for two forces to cooperate or form alliances, but creating a teleportation pillar's akin to handing your back to the other. If their interests align, it's fine, but if there's betrayal, the teleportation pillar could become a dagger in the back. Furthermore, the Yaoqi sanctuaries always remained hidden from the world, avoiding mundane affairs. Still, this is an invitation from the founder, and I don't want to reject it outright. He said, It's fine. I'm just suggesting it. If it doesn't work, I won't insist. She said, Matters like this require collective consideration. I'll consult with everyone back at the sect and give you a reply. All right, when the Yaoqi makes a decision, just notify the Heavenly Demon sect. As they sat on the bed away from each other silently, the atmosphere grew tense. She said, Founder. Suddenly he grabbed her delicate soft wrist. She said in confusion, And he pulled her away, and she said, Where are you taking me? He opened the door and pushed her out. He said, We've finished our discussion. I need to cultivate now. Queen Mother of the West, please leave. He thought, This seductive fox spirit physique. If this keeps happening, I might not be able to handle it. She was shocked. Suddenly he closed the door. She, still confused, said, Huh? And she raged in aura and said, Good job, Ning Tian. And she flew away and said, One day I'll make you kneel before me. As she licked her hand that was touched by him seductively. 3 days later. The ruler said, To think that in my mighty supreme divine kingdom, there's not a single person who can comprehend this wordless heavenly book. You've all disappointed me. Princess Wuqing said, Father, calm down. Although I've managed to sense a faint trace of its aura, I can't find the method to comprehend it. Qin Haran said, Damn it. How did that so-called founder manage it? He suddenly arrived and opened the door, saying, So, how is it, Your Majesty? Has anyone in your kingdom comprehended it? The ruler said, Founder, you've won. What you asked for is inside this storage ring. He said, As expected of the ruler, you keep your promises. As he received the storage ring, he said, Now, it's time for me to fulfill my part of the deal. Who should I teach it to? Suddenly, cultivators shouted, Me, choose me. A gay man said, Founder, I've admired you for a long time. Choose me. His gay friend said, Founder, if you choose me, I'll offer incense for you every day. As Princess Wuqing and junior sister Yu Qin were shocked at the back, he suddenly pointed at a distance and said, Then let's choose the Lunar Princess. Qin Haran said, Wait, Lunar Princess, you're the one who brought him into the supreme secret realm, right? Don't tell me you two were in on this together, Princess Wuqing said. Qin Haran, when I brought the founder into the supreme secret realm, I didn't know his true identity. Besides, you didn't recognize him in the secret realm either. Qin Haran said, Who knows what really happened? He said, The Lunar Princess ranks in the top 3 among the princes and princesses in terms of talent. She's an excellent candidate. If I don't choose you, he mocked Qin Haran, should I choose you, the crown prince who's always targeting me? Qin Haran said in anger, You. He said, Lunar Princess, are you ready? She said, Yes. He thought, Activate your talent, begin your training. As he extended his right palm near the huge chest of Princess Wuqing, she suddenly glowed in golden aura. A system prompt said, Talent activation initiated. Training in progress. As he pointed at her forehead, it shone in golden light. As she slowly rose, he walked away and said, "Done. She'll comprehend the supreme palm in no time. I'll be off now." Qin said, "Wait. The supreme palm's a heaven-tier technique. How could anyone master it so quickly?" The ruler said, "Wait. You're not trying to run away, are you? What if the lunar princess doesn't succeed?" He said, "Then that means you're not qualified. But since I'm teaching her, she's guaranteed to comprehend it." Qin said in frustration, Such arrogance." The ruler said, "Haran, enough!" Suddenly Princess Wuqing opened her eyes as they burst in golden light, and she shouted in pleasure, "Ah," as she moaned deep, and her chest became a bit larger. As she showed respect to the teacher, a few moments later, junior sister Yuqin said, "Such immense and overwhelming supreme energy. Could it be that the ancestor truly taught Princess Wuqing everything in such a short time?" He walked away and said, "I'll be going now." Qin said, "Father, are we really letting him go like that? What if he's deceiving us?" The ruler said, "The legendary ancestor of the heavenly demon sect's extremely clever, considering the strained relations between the Orthodox Alliance and the heavenly demon sect. He wouldn't be foolish enough to create more enemies for the sect." Suddenly Princess Wuqing opened her eyes as she began to descend. The ruler said, "Wuqing, how is it?" She said, "Reporting to father, I fully mastered the highest form of the supreme Hunyuan palm." "The highest form?" As the people were shocked, Qin said, "It's been such a short time, and you've progressed from beginner to ultimate mastery. How did I not realize before that you're also a peerless genius?" And he thought, Wuqing's always regarded me as her rival. Now that she's mastered the supreme Hunyuan palm, my position's bound to be impacted significantly. The ruler said, "Wuqing, are you certain of what you're saying?" She said, "Words are meaningless. You can all judge for yourselves." As she concentrated her power in her soft palm, she made a stance as she showed off her thick, soft legs, and she attacked the ground with her palm, making shockwaves. The ruler said, "As expected, it's the supreme highest form of the supreme palm. Ha ha ha! My supreme divine kingdoms finally produced a peerless genius after 50 long years." "Congratulations," the cultivator said, "truly worthy of celebration." She said, "No, this has nothing to do with me. I'm not some peerless genius. All of this is the work of the ancestor. The ancestor created thousands of ways to comprehend the supreme Hunyuan palm. Every method's meticulously recorded, from beginner to ultimate mastery. As long as you're a normal person and follow the ancestor's recorded steps, you can easily reach the highest form." Qin said, "Thousands of methods, but he mastered the supreme Hunyuan palm in just a few days. How's that possible?" The ruler said, "Truly deserving of the illustrious reputation of the heavenly demon sect's ancestor. Wuqing, is what you said true? Then can you?" She said, "Father, I know what you want to say. However, it seems the ancestor must have employed some minor trick. When I chose one method, the rest of the comprehension techniques disappeared." The ruler said, "Enough. As long as someone from my divine kingdom can inherit the teachings of the ancestor, that's all that matters. Transmit my imperial decree. From this moment on, no one's allowed to provoke the heavenly demon sect. Anyone who disobeys will have their entire clan exterminated." As the cultivator said, "We obey the decree of the king." Qin said, "Father, isn't this unnecessary? If word spreads, won't it seem like our supreme divine kingdom's afraid of the heavenly demon sect?" The ruler said, "Short-sighted. The heavenly demon sect's ancestor and the sacred lord of the Jade Pool. Do you wish to provoke two formidable enemies for our supreme divine kingdom? The legendary ancestor's far more formidable than we initially thought." Outside, he said, I got so carried away, I forgot the most important thing. I should have stayed to enjoy their shock. There might have been some rewards too." Suddenly, Zhu Yuanbao showed up and said, "Ancestor, I finally found you," he said confused. "Why are you waiting for me?" The Holy Sun grabbed his wrist and ran away, saying, Sister Tianqui's looking for you. Hurry and come to the Heavenly Treasure Pavilion. He said, Huh? What does she want from me? A few moments later, at the Heavenly Treasure Pavilion, the soldiers said to him, Greetings, ancestor. He said, What an impressive display. Sister Tianqui said, I've long heard of your legendary reputation. Seeing you today, you truly are handsome, extraordinary, and unparalleled. It's an honor for my Heavenly Treasure Pavilion to bask in your presence. As she covered her large cleavage, she then held the broad shoulder of him and said, I didn't expect the mysterious emperor at the auction to be the legendary ancestor. Ancestor, you are truly remarkable. He said, Nor did I expect the top auctioneer of the Heavenly Treasure Pavilion to be its pavilion master. You are not ordinary yourself, she thought. Very few people can resist the interference of the fragrance of enchantment. How is he so composed? She said. With just king realm strength, he's managed to deceive several emperors present. That kind of audacity alone commands respect. He said, So, master of the Heavenly Treasure Pavilion, what brings you here today? She took something from her right chest and said, This is the spiritual currency that the ancestor paid during the auction a few days ago. The Heavenly Treasure Pavilions returned it in full, hoping the ancestor'd consider establishing a commercial partnership between the Heavenly Treasure Pavilion and the Heavenly Demon Sect. He said, Tell me more. She said, Our Heavenly Treasure Pavilion's willing to provide these resources and offer a 30% discount to the Heavenly Demon Sect. Surely the vast Heavenly Demon Sect must need a significant amount of pills, weapons, and other cultivation materials. He said, And your conditions? He thought, In such large quantities, a 30% discount would indeed save significant expenses. But why's the Heavenly Treasure Pavilion being so generous? She said, There are no conditions. I simply admire the ancestor and wish to befriend you and the Heavenly Demon Sect. He said, Throughout history, free things tend to be the most costly. I'll deliberate this matter upon my return before making a decision. She said, Of course, if the ancestor's interested, you can contact me through Juyuanbao at any time. He walked away and said, Let's go. She said, Ancestor, would you like for me to escort you back? He said, There's no need. I don't like being indebted to anyone. A few moments later outside, Old Two said, Master, is there really a need to be this accommodating to the ancestor? She said, Old Two, say no more. As a merchant, one must understand trade-offs. The more you invest, the greater your returns. And she thought, This person, he's worth it. At the Tianling region, western continent of the demonic sect, Luo Wuqing turned to the Grand Elder and asked, Grand Elder, have the people from the Orthodox Alliance calmed down recently? The Grand Elder shook his head. Not at all. I've heard that a peerless genius has emerged among them, and it's made him even more arrogant, almost excessively so. Her gaze darkened. I see. Pass the word down. If anyone encounters those from the Orthodox Alliance, show no mercy, hold nothing back. The Grand Elder nodded. Yes, I also heard that the Supreme Divine Kingdom's been thrown into chaos by someone named Ning Shu. Not only was their secret realm looted clean, but I've heard rumors that he even disrupted the succession process of their royal heir. Is that true? She frowned as if trying to recall something. Ning Shu? Her expression softened. Could it be? It's been some time now. I wonder how he's doing. A gust of wind swept through the air, and suddenly his voice echoed from above. Everyone, it's been a while. She looked up in surprise. The Grand Elder's face lit up. Your patriarch's returned. He descended from the sky, riding on a majestic phoenix. He gracefully dismounted and landed before him. With a smirk, he turned to Luo Wuqing. Wife, did you miss me? She, masking her emotions, replied nonchalantly, Not really. Without missing a beat, he grabbed her arms and pulled her into a tight embrace. But I missed you so much, he said tenderly, holding her close. The Grand Elder, sweat beading on his forehead, nervously asked, Patriarch, did you gain anything from your travels this time? One of the disciples, shocked by the display, covered his eyes. His friend, eyes wide with disbelief, stared at him in awe. He grinned widely, showing off his spoils. 3 powerful storage rings. "Of course," he said, "opening them one by one." A mountain of treasures poured out, filling the air with a dazzling array of sparkling gems and artifacts. The Grand Elder gasped, "Wow!" She blinked in confusion. Cultivation techniques, spirit coins, and crystal essence stones. "Ning Tian, did you go robbing people?" The Grand Elder, still too stunned to open his eyes, added, "Setting aside those 5 billion spirit coins. The crystal essence stones alone are worth an astronomical amount." A system prompt chimed in. "You've shocked Luo Wuqing. You've shocked the Grand Elder. Reward, faith cultivation range increased from tens of meters to hundreds of meters." His expression shifted, becoming more serious. "Wife, let me tell you everything slowly." 1 incense stick later. Her eyes widened. "So you actually won a bet with the Supreme Sovereign of the Divine Kingdom? And what was the wager?" the Grand Elder asked, his voice full of disbelief. She added, "Goodness gracious, you made a bet with an Emperor-level powerhouse? I would never have dared to dream of such a thing." The Grand Elder had finally opened his eyes, still in shock. "Patriarch, did the Supreme Sovereign get so angry he nearly died? Won't this make the Divine Kingdom hostile toward our demonic sect?" He chuckled, brushing it off. "Not at all. He should be thanking me. After all, I've given him an excellent heir." The night began to fall, and he glanced at the Grand Elder. "It's getting late, and the weather's getting a bit chilly. You should head back and rest, Grand Elder." She, puzzled, looked around. "Chilly? It's not dark yet, and the weather's still pleasant." Suddenly he pulled her close, his hands warm against her. "Separation makes the heart grow fonder. Why wait until nightfall?" Her face flushed. "You!" Before she could respond, he used his dragon step technique to whisk him away, vanishing into the distance. As he leaped away, he called out, "Grand Elder, take these items and keep 'em safe for me. We'll divide 'em properly tomorrow." The Grand Elder cupped his fists. "Yes, Patriarch." A few moments later, he arrived at his room, still carrying her. He placed her down onto his bed. "Let me go," she protested, her face slightly flushed. "There's so many people watching." "How can you act so brazenly in broad daylight?" He grinned mischievously. "Brazen? Wife, are you thinking of something improper?" "I am not," she snapped, turning her face away. He chuckled, then sat down beside her. All right. I won't tease you anymore. I wanted to discuss something important with you." She crossed her arms. "What is it?" "There's 2 matters," he said. "First, Tianbao Pavilion wants to collaborate with our demonic sect and's agreed to provide resources at a 30% discount." She raised an eyebrow but remained silent. "Second," he continued, "I'd like to use the 5 billion spirit coins and 5,000 crystal essence stones to build a teleportation pillar with the Jade Pool Holy Land." He leaned back, his expression turning serious. "Our sect's expenses are massive. If we collaborate with Tianbao Pavilion, we'll have enough surplus to use for other purposes. We can start with a trial partnership. And, considering the rise in tensions with the Orthodox Alliance, having another ally could be beneficial. Among all the factions in the Tianling region, the Jade Pool Holy Land's likely the most reliable." She pondered for a moment, then sat down. "The Jade Pool Holy Land's always maintained neutrality. Are you sure they'll agree?" He smirked. "Don't worry. I can tell that the Queen Mother of the West ain't opposed to my proposal. She'll convince the others." Her gaze lingered on him. "Our demonic sect's never allied with another force since its founding, but since it's your suggestion, it's worth considering." Hearing this, he sprang up, raising his hands in excitement. "Wife, you're so wise." She, unimpressed, narrowed her eyes. "You're this happy because collaborating with the Jade Pool makes it easier for you to meet those vixens, doesn't it?" With a smirk, she pushed his face away, like a predator eyeing its prey. He let out a playful laugh. "You're jealous." But then he suddenly stopped. His expression softened as he looked at her. In a quiet voice, he asked again, "You're jealous?" As he spoke, he gently lifted her chin. She scoffed. Ridiculous. Why would I be jealous over something like this? His lips curled into a knowing smile. Wife, now that we've discussed serious matters, shouldn't we move on to more profound topics? His voice lowered. You really didn't miss me at all while I was away. Before she could respond, he leaned in and gently placed her onto the bed. Suddenly she pulled him closer. Without hesitation, she kissed him passionately. His eyes widened. Ugh, she smirked. What do you think? In response, he flipped her over, pinning her beneath him as the night began for the both of them. Meanwhile, in a different scene, within the Jade Pool Holy Land, a fierce battle raged. The Queen Mother of the West and her powerful allies worked together, unleashing their full might to suppress a demon. Bound by the ancient soul-locking coffin, the demon let out a deep, guttural growl. I am the true demon. Do you really think a mere little girl like you can suppress me? Her expression remained icy. Impudent. I don't believe you can escape from the soul-locking coffin's seal, the demon roared, his aura surging. Jade Pool Holy Master, as long as you cannot kill me, I will eventually return, and when I do, I will bathe the Jade Pool in blood. As he struggled against the coffin, dark energy erupted from his form, resisting with all his might. However, the coffin's lid slammed shut, sealing him completely. A few moments later, the Queen Mother and her allies descended to the ground. An elder approached her with a solemn, Holy Master, the Jade Pools suppressed this true demon for tens of thousands of years, yet we've never been able to destroy him. A fellow cultivator added grimly, Now the power of the seal's gradually weakening. She remained composed. It does not matter. The soul-locking coffin's an emperor-level treasure. He won't be able to stir up any trouble. She then shifted her gaze toward her gathered allies. Now, regarding my earlier suggestion about forming an alliance with the demonic sect, what do you all think? The elder hesitated. This, her ally pondered. Perhaps we should hold a meeting and hear everyone's opinions. She nodded. Spread the word, summon all disciples to the main hall immediately. Let's discuss this major matter together in the Lingyao sect. At Moonlight Cliff, he cultivated alongside the other cultivators. As his golden aura spread throughout the group, a system prompt appeared. System notification. Absorbing faith energy. Faith energy absorption increased. Faith energy absorption increased by 3. Current faith energy storage. 950 out of 1,000. A beautiful lady with a voluptuous figure moaned in pleasure. Grandmaster, my chest hurts so much, she exclaimed as it grew even larger. Another beautiful cultivator spoke up. Grandmaster, my legs hurt, she said, feeling sore. He suddenly grew irritated upon hearing such comments while cultivating. He snapped and said, Everyone, behave yourselves. If you don't train properly, believe it or not, I'll beat you all up. The same voluptuous lady gasped, Ah, Grandmaster, so manly and charming. Her friend, who had an even more exaggerated figure, chimed in, Oh my God, so handsome. Another friend with a softer figure pleaded, Grandmaster, hit me hard. Don't go easy on me just because I'm a Jiawa. He sighed to himself, Damn it. Lately, my wife said she's tired and won't let me back in bed unless I train outstanding disciples. But these guys are just too... He paused, deep in thought. A few moments later, his eyes lit up. Got it. Taking out a storage ring, he opened it and declared, Here's various profound-grade martial arts techniques and some treasure artifacts. Pick whatever you like. Grandmaster'll help you all become the elites of the Heavenly Demon sect. The cultivators were stunned as they gazed at the treasures before them. A young boy asked in disbelief, Grandmaster, is this real? His friend gasped, Am I dreaming? Martial arts techniques and even treasure artifacts, all for us. A lady with a slender waist and ample chest cheered, Grandmaster's mighty, Grandmaster's generous. Just then another system prompt appeared. System notification, you've shocked a group of disciples, rewarded talent, divine craftsmanship. Talent acquired, divine craftsmanship, allows the forging of weapons and other items. He mused to himself, Craft my own weapons. I don't need it now, but if I get good materials in the future, this'll be really... A male moved forward. Grandmaster, how do I train in Iron Fist? He descended and examined him. Let me take a look. System notification, activating talent, teaching and enlightenment. A few moments later, system notification, activation successful. He, radiating power, placed his glowing golden hand on the man's temple. Do you understand now? The man's eyes widened in realization. Clenching his fist, golden energy surged around it. So Iron Fist is this simple. This disciple was too foolish. Thank you for Grandmaster's guidance. Another disciple, watching in shock, exclaimed, Grandmaster's amazing. Yet another man eagerly stepped forward. Grandmaster, I don't understand either. Please teach me. A lady with a well-endowed figure followed suit. Me too, me too. He raised his hand to calm him. One at a time. Half a month later, the cultivators trained rigorously, their powerful skills displaying massive improvements. He, exuding a raging aura, stood among them, watching over their progress. Has everyone completed their training? The cultivators, radiating powerful auras, responded in unison. Thank you, Grandmaster, for your guidance. A system prompt appeared. System notification, absorbing faith energy. Faith energy decreased by 1. Faith energy decreased by 2. Faith energy decreased by 3. Current faith energy storage, 1000 out of 1000. Faith power, ready. Suddenly, he caught a whiff of something fragrant in the air. Luo Wuqing arrived, wearing a stunning new dress that accentuated her breathtaking figure. He smiled and said, Dear wife, have you come to take me home? She replied, We'll talk about that later. First, come with me to the medicine hall. The medic elder wants to see you. He raised an eyebrow. The medic elder's looking for me. Could it be that the pill's been successfully refined? Without hesitation, he scooped her into his arms, and with his raging dragon aura, soared through the sky. A few moments later, Heavenly Demon Sect Medicine Hall. Elder Yao paced back and forth anxiously. As they arrived, Elder Yao greeted him excitedly. Empress Grandmaster, you're here. After landing gracefully, she asked, Elder Yao, how's the pill refinement going? Elder Yao sighed heavily. Grandmaster, I'm ashamed of my incompetence. I've studied the process for over 2 days, but still don't dare to proceed recklessly. He continued, This pill requires an extremely large number of materials, many of which are rare treasures. The ingredient proportions must be meticulously precise. Any mistake could lead to an explosion in the furnace. If we fail, all these precious materials will be wasted. He frowned and thought, If we fail, all these precious materials will be wasted. Elder Yao shook his head and said, Throughout the entire heavenly domain, only one person's capable of refining this pill. He narrowed his eyes. Who? She hesitated before replying. Well, he said, the Pill Emperor Lin Feng. He frowned. Pill Emperor Lin Feng, who is he? She looked at him and smirked. Your love rival. He was stunned. Huh? Love rival? She crossed her arms, pushing out her ample chest. Having a few love rivals, ain't that completely normal? He scoffed, then suddenly pulled her close, pressing her soft, full chest against him. Holding her delicate wrist, he whispered, My wife's as beautiful as a goddess, breathtakingly stunning. If I didn't have 70, 80, or even 90 love rivals, that'd be the real problem. He then asked, But this Lin Feng, who exactly is he? She looked away. Lin Feng's the sect leader of the Spirit Medicine Sect, a mid-tier imperial-level force. Elder Yao stroked his moustache and added, However, since he's a quasi-emperor-level powerhouse and possesses exceptional alchemy skills, people respectfully call him the Pill Emperor. When it comes to alchemy in Tianling City, if Lin Feng claims to be second, probably no one dare claim first. His expression darkened. So basically, my pill can only be refined by him. He clenched his fists and thought, Damn it! I can't let my wife beg another man to help me, can I? She gently took his hands and reassured him. Don't overthink it. We're not going to beg him. We'll pay him in spirit coins to refine the pill, that's all. He sighed. Wife, how do you always know what I'm thinking? Suddenly, he let out a frustrated groan and buried his head into her soft, warm chest. But what if Lin Feng refuses the deal? He blushed, secretly enjoying the fragrance. It smells good. Her eyes gleamed with determination. Refuse. If a mere quasi-emperor refuses, we'll just beat him until he agrees. His eyes sparkled. Dear wife, is the spirit medicine sect rich? She hesitated. Well, they don't have much money, but they do have a lot of medicinal ingredients. To an alchemist, money's just an external thing. Medicinal ingredients are the true treasures. Hey, she frowned. What are you planning to do? He waved her off nonchalantly, his golden aura surging. Nothing. Then, with a command in tone, he declared, Tomorrow, we set off for the spirit medicine sect. Elder Yao wiped his sweat and muttered, Empress, does this mean the spirit medicine sect's doomed? She simply hummed in response as he prepared to face his so-called love rival. In the sect, he said to her while she pressed her huge chest against him, Dear wife, are you really coming with me to see the pill emperor? She replied, Since only Lin Feng can refine his pill, he wouldn't reject me if I come personally. He smiled and said, My wife's so nice, you always think of me. Looking at the Grand Elder, he ordered, Grand Elder, if anyone from Yaoqi Holy Land or Tianbao Pavilion comes, you'll be the one to welcome him. The Grand Elder bowed slightly and said, Yes, Patriarch, as the other bald elder. Suddenly, he hugged her huge, soft and warm cleavage and said, Sorry to trouble you, my wife. She enjoyed his warm breath and whispered, Hug me tighter. In an instant, they leaped away at the speed of a bullet. A few moments later, at the Western Continent's Spirit Medicine sect. 3 cultivators walked near the statue of Pill Emperor Lin Feng. One of them sighed and said, Sigh, patrolling every day's too boring. His friend nodded and said, That's right. Those who come to the Spirit Medicine sect are just begging grandpas and grandmas. No one dared to act presumptuously in our Spirit Medicine sect. Above them, they suddenly heard a voice. Eh? What a massive statue! The cultivators looked up in confusion at the statue of Pill Emperor Lin Feng, only to see him and her landing on the statue's shoulder. He scoffed. I didn't think Lin Feng was this narcissistic. A young disciple pointed at him and shouted in anger, How daring! Who are you? His friend added, Not only did you speak offensively, but you also stepped on the statue of our Spirit Medicine sect's Lord Pill Emperor. Get down now! Otherwise don't blame us for being unwelcoming. Suddenly she used her enchanting voice, which echoed throughout the entire Spirit Medicine sect. With a golden commanding tone she called out, Lin Feng, this Empress tells you to come out. The sheer pressure from her voice caused the cultivators to drop to the ground, unable to withstand the intensity. Suddenly, Pill Emperor Lin Feng leaped toward the source of the voice and laughed, Ha-ha! He landed gracefully and said, Wuqing, long time no see. His expression turned dark as he shouted in confusion and anger, What? She is the Empress of the Heavenly Demonic Sect. He then glared at Lin Feng and growled, Who gave you permission to call her that? Jumping down from the statue with a raging aura, he landed and asked coldly, Are you even worthy? Lin Feng frowned in confusion and asked, The Empress and I are friends. Why is it your concern how I address her? She suddenly held his arm and replied, Lin Feng, when did you become my friend? And this person's my husband. Of course he can express his dissatisfaction at how you address me. As she spoke, she pressed her large, soft chest against his arm. Lin Feng was utterly shocked. He felt lightning shoot down his spine as his tongue stiffened. What? You are married, he muttered to himself. I only went into seclusion for a while, and she's already married. No, I refuse to believe this. There must be more to it. This young man must have used some tricks. Trembling slightly, Lin Feng struggled to compose himself and said, So, it's the Empress's husband. I apologize for the disrespect. Patriarch's really handsome and extraordinary. He waved his hand and said, No, I'm just a tiny bit more handsome than you. That's all. Lin Feng clenched his fists internally and thought, this guy's really shameless. As expected, Wuqing was tricked. He then forced a laugh and said, the patriarch's really good at telling jokes. You're only at the Earth King realm. I advise you to keep a low profile and stop playing tricks. Otherwise it'll be bad if you get hurt in the future. He nodded and said, the Pill Emperor's right. I am indeed very, very weak. Lin Feng scoffed, good that you know. Suddenly he wrapped his arm around her tiny waist and said, HSS, I cultivated for too long yesterday and my shoulders are sore again. Dear wife, please help me massage my shoulders. Feeling his warm hands, she let out a soft gasp of pleasure. Ah, she thought, this guy always aims straight at the heart. Without hesitation, she pressed her delicate hands onto his firm shoulders, massaging them gently. He sighed in relief. Ah, it's the best to be massaged by my wife's little hands. As they sat down in the spirit medicine sect, Lin Feng clenched his jaw and thought bitterly, damn it, the woman I love's actually so obedient. And a disciple at the back whispered in shock, oh my, I didn't expect the rumors to be true. His friend said, the Empress is just like a little woman in front of him. Pill Emperor Lin Feng was utterly shocked and couldn't comprehend what he was witnessing. Meanwhile, he pulled her even closer, pressing her huge chest against his. Dear wife, I'm so sorry. It took too long for me to advance to the Earth King realm peak. She shook her head and reassured him. For you to achieve this in 2 to 3 months, you're already a genius among geniuses. She then glanced at Pill Emperor Lin Feng and added, from what I know, even the Pill Emperor took 10 years to step into the Earth King realm peak stage. Lin Feng's thoughts raced. For Wuqing to accommodate this guy like this, could it be that she married him on account of his talents? Shaking his head, he sighed to himself, forget it. It's pointless to keep arguing. Out loud he asked, I wonder why the Empress and the Patriarch came to my spirit med. She replied, I came to ask you to refine a pill. Lin Feng narrowed his eyes. What kind of pill does the Empress want me to refine? Do you have the ingredients? He smirked and said, the ingredients are all here, as he tossed a box toward Lin Feng. Lin Feng used his power to receive it mid-air, inspecting its contents. Based on these ingredients, it doesn't seem too difficult to refine them into a pill. Suddenly he grinned and pulled out more items. Wait, there's still 2 more. Lin Feng's eyes widened in shock. This is the 100 years 9 Phoenix ice grass and 1,000 years Thunderheart fruit. His mind spun with disbelief. This young man's just at the Earth King realm. Why does he need such high-grade ingredients? And the weirder parts? I actually can't decipher what kind of pill he wants me to make. Just then, a system prompt rang out. Ding! You've shocked Pill Emperor Lin Feng and received a reward. Alchemy. Current alchemy proficiency. Beginner level. Reward. Alchemy Saint Experience Card. Alchemy Saint Experience Card upon use grants Alchemy Saint proficiency for 1 hour. Expires after use, he smirked. As expected of the Pill Emperor, you indeed know your stuff. Lin Feng took a deep breath and suddenly shook his head. I apologize, I can't refine this pill. His followers gasped in disbelief. How's this possible? His friend, equally shocked, stammered. There's actually a pill that even the Pill Emperor can't refine. She narrowed her eyes at Lin Feng. Lin Feng, I hope you're not just making excuses to get away. Lin Feng sighed and explained, the ingredients you provided are too precious. The pill that'll be formed from 'em's at least going to be an immortal pill. Any carelessness'll risk the furnace exploding. I admit that my skills aren't perfect. He smirked and let out a sigh. Since the Pill Emperor can't do it, then I'll just have to do it myself. Lin Feng's heart pounded in shock. What? He's thinking. Alchemy Saint. It's time, a man shouted at him, Stop lying! If you can refine it, then why did you even come to our spirit medicine sect? His friend added, That's right. If even the pill emperor can't refine this pill, then no one in the entire heavenly spiritual domain be able to do it. Don't boast. She turned to him and hesitated. Ning Tian Yu, she muttered to herself. When did you ever cultivate alchemy? He gently held her chin and said, Dear wife, don't worry. She nodded. I trust you. You always make the impossible possible. Lin Feng frowned. I don't sense any alchemy proficiency from the patriarch. How are you going to refine this pill? The 9 phoenix icegrass and thunder heartfruit are extremely rare. If the patriarch wastes such high-quality ingredients, it'd be a great shame. He reassured him, Don't worry, I know my limits. May I request the pill emperor to find me a furnace suitable for refining this pill? Lin smirked. Our spirit medicine sect naturally possesses a pill refining furnace capable of refining an immortal pill. As he spoke, a furnace appeared in his hands. Lin Feng displayed it proudly. Patriarch, this is one of my treasures, the low-grade immortal artifact, the 3-legged golden crow furnace. He nodded. Thank you, pill emperor. He then spoke to himself. System, use the alchemy saint experience card. As he walked towards the pill refining furnace, a system prompt appeared. Use an alchemy saint experience card. Successful. The hosts obtained 1 hour of alchemy saint proficiency. Golden energy surged around him as he suddenly threw all the ingredients into the furnace. The pill refining furnace radiated a blind in golden aura. Lin Feng's eyes widened in shock. The sacred fire of alchemy? He's already reached the level of an alchemy saint. Host, who steps onto the path of alchemy, possesses the ability to ignite alchemy fire. The higher the fire's color quality, the greater the alchemist's proficiency in the art of alchemy. Lin Feng trembled. The alchemy fire he's casting right now, it's one of the strongest alchemy fires. Meanwhile, he focused, using explosive fire as yang. Withdraw 3 parts of yang, then release 7 parts of yin. Yin and yang in a 3-to-7 ratio complementing each other. The flames are flickering. This is the moment to withdraw 3 parts. He then took out the 100-year 9 phoenix icegrass and the 1,000-year thunder heartfruit, placing them into the pill furnace. The furnace suddenly emanated an overwhelming power. Lin Feng gasped. This exceptional skill in balancing yin and yang, this fire-controlling technique's truly incredible. Above him, thunder roared, and lightning flashed across the sky. Lin Feng trembled. Heaven and earth phenomenon. What kind of high-grade immortal pill did the patriarch refine? A massive bolt of lightning descended toward the furnace. Sweatin', Lin Feng panicked. This is bad. If that heavenly lightning strikes the pill furnace, it'll definitely explode and the pill be destroyed. As the lightning neared the furnace, he suddenly shouted, Condense! The pill furnace levitated, and a bright light exploded outward. She called out in concern, Ning Qian! Lin Feng, struggling against the intense energy, muttered, What a shame, did the furnace explode in the end? The sky rumbled as a pill slowly emerged from the furnace. Lin Feng stammered, The furnace didn't explode, and a 6-colored sacred light even burst out. What exactly is this immortal pill? A follower whispered, Lord Master, is the pill complete? Lin Feng shook his head. No, not yet. All eyes turned to him, who was now surrounded by crackling lightning. Lin Feng gasped. The patriarch isn't planning to stop. This pill is not complete yet. Sweatin', he declared. With this final step, the heavenly pattern divine pill. The pill's power intensified. Suddenly, a massive hand emerged from the sky. This pill naturally belongs to us. Brother Wuqing's expression darkened. She roared, Which rat dares to launch a sneak attack and steal the pill? Come out now. A voice echoed, Brother Wuqing. Why don't you just hand over this immortal pill? Another voice sneered. Otherwise, don't blame me for slaughtering countless lives today. Lin Feng's face turned pale. If he's disturbed at this point, at best, the divine pill refinement LL fail, but at worst, the pill be destroyed and he'll die. Her aura surged violently. Whoever dares to harm him, I'll kill you. She rushed toward the dark clouds and saw two imposing figures. She narrowed her eyes. 8-star immortal emperors. Who are you? Lin Feng's expression was grave. Apart from Wuqing, there's no other 8-star immortal emperors in the heavenly spiritual domain. Could they be experts from beyond the domain? She scoffed. Domain outsiders dare to be so presumptuous. You've overestimated yourselves. She charged at him. Suddenly a massive explosion of light erupted in the sky. He clenched his fists. Damn it, this is the most crucial moment of the pill refinement. He took a deep breath and shouted, Dear wife, you must hold on. At that moment, the divine pill was fully formed. She said, My frost, once unsheathed, blood'll be drawn. As she surged in power with her sword, she raised it and declared, Today, I offer the blood of the 8-star immortal emperor to it. The third brother of the immortal emperors in the heavenly spiritual domain suddenly charged towards her and said, If we were fighting one-on-one, we might not be your match, but it's a shame there's two of us. She attacked him and said, 2 ants dare to be so arrogant in front of me. The 2 immortal emperors blocked her attack, groaning in pain. Arg, the third brother said, Second brother, this woman's really powerful. What? The second brother replied, An immortal pill that can trigger a heaven and earth phenomenon's definitely not low grade. Our cultivation's been stuck for too long. We cannot give it up so easily. Suddenly, the pill furnace surged with power. A system prompt announced, Currently imbuing the last alchemy saint attainment into the heavenly pattern divine pill. Please wait patiently. Imbuement successful. The pill furnace suddenly burst with immense power. A boy in the crowd exclaimed, Such a strong medicinal fragrance. What kind of pill's this? Lin Feng gasped in awe. N9-colored holy light. Such a divine phenomenon's unparalleled throughout the ages. This pill surpasses anything I've ever seen in my entire life. He turned to the patriarch and declared, From this day forward, you're my eternal God. As he stood frozen in awe, unable to close his mouth, she suddenly dashed towards him and asked, Are you all right? He reassured her, Don't worry, dear wife, Now that the heavenly pattern divine pill's been refined. He leaped towards her, embraced her tightly, and said, I won't let you be bullied any more. The second brother scoffed, A mere Earth King cultivator, relying on a bit of alchemy talent, dares to spout such arrogant words. The third brother suddenly interrupted, Wait. Second brother, look. Feeling the radiating power of the pill, he gasped, This strong medicinal fragrance. It healed our wounds. The second brother's eyes widened. Not only that, but I feel my cultivation's about to break through. Ha ha ha. Luo Wuqing, you painstakingly managed to injure the two of us, but now we've been healed by the holy medicinal fragrance from your husband's refinement. What a waste of your efforts. Third brother, we must not waste this medicinal fragrance. Let's absorb it. As they absorbed the power, their auras surged. He and she watched from below. She, her golden aura radiating, declared, If I could injure you once, I can do. He smiled and said, Don't be angry, dear wife. Get ready to watch a good show. The third brother suddenly panicked. Second brother, what's going on? Why are these pill lightnings attacking us? The second brother, equally alarmed, stammered, I don't know either. Suddenly, multiple lightning bolts struck him. She turned to him, Did you do this? He smirked. Hey, I'm not a fool. Why would I let my wife's attacks go to waste? I knew that once the divine pill was complete, the medicinal fragranced heal external injuries. Those 2 old fools did definitely absorb all of it into their bodies. So I very kindly added some extra ingredients for 'em. Earlier, he'd secretly placed another pill inside the pill furnace. The 2 immortal emperors suddenly felt intense pain as they were struck by even more lightning. They plummeted from the sky and crashed to the ground. The third brother cried out in pain. What did you put inside? He chuckled. Hey, I intentionally added a 10-fold supreme tonic pill just for the 2 of you. With my enhanced alchemy proficiency, the potency of the medicine's at least 1,000 times greater than before. Not only does it heal external injuries, but it also nourishes internal organs. So how do you feel? Don't you feel hundreds of years younger now? The second brother cursed. Damn it! The holy medicinal fragrance was already enough to heal our wounds, but with this tonic of unknown origin, the excess energies have the opposite effect. The third brother groaned in agony. Second brother, it feels like there's fire burning inside me, he smirked. Who told the two of you to be so greedy, absorbing all the medicinal fragrance? Imagine, an immortal emperor suffocating to death from excess energy. What a joke! The second brother roared. A mere Earth King dares to poison us. He lunged at him, shouting, I'll kill you! But before he could strike, she suddenly stepped in front of him, shielding him with her delicate body. She declared. Their palms collided, creating powerful shock waves. Her delicate body trembled slightly from the intensity. A system prompt appeared. You've shocked the 8-star immortal emperors from beyond the domain. You've shocked the Empress. You've shocked the Pill Emperor. Reward obtained. Realm exchange card. Realm exchange card. Choose one person and, with their permission, exchange abilities for 1 hour. The second brother sneered. Third brother. This person's Luo Wuqing's weakness. As long as we launch powerful attacks with full strength and deplete a large amount of her energy. The third brother attacked her simultaneously and added, It'll alleviate the danger of body explosion. Once I capture this young man, I'll force him to refine a remedy for us. The third brother groaned, Ugh, I understand, second brother, as he continued his relentless assault. Suddenly, another 9-star immortal emperor from the heavenly spiritual domain appeared, radiating a powerful purple energy. With an ugly grin on his face, he attacked her. She was shocked as a powerful palm strike landed on her soft, ample chest, leaving a visible mark and sending her flying backward. She crashed into him as they both slammed into the wall. She endured the pain, gritting her teeth. The 9-star immortal emperor sneered. I've long heard of the fame of the heavenly spirit domain's empress, but seeing her today has somewhat exceeded my expectations. Suddenly, Lin Feng charged at him, roaring, Which rat dares to harm Wuqing? The 9-star immortal emperor scoffed, Who do you think you are? He grabbed Lin Feng by the throat and flung him away like trash. Scram! He rushed to help her up. Dear wife, are you all right? The mark of the palm strike was still visible on her soft, godly chest as she warned, Ning Tian, run! He's a 9-star immortal emperor. Although I've got the ability to battle him. He suddenly spoke in a serious tone. Leave the rest to me. Her eye. Ning Tian, you... He smirked, his expression dark and calculating, like a demon about to descend. He thought of the Queen Mother of the West and whispered, System! Use the Realm Exchange card. A system prompt appeared. Using Realm Exchange card. Please select a target, currently transferring and exchanging information. He whispered, Queen Mother of the West, please help me. She, confused, responded, What's going on? Then, realizing the situation, she became serious. Patriarch! And thus the beating of an immortal emperor was about to commence. He said to her, There's no time to explain. I need your power right now. Please transfer your strength to me. She replied, Of course, but how do we do that? Where are you, Grandmaster? As she felt his warmth all over her body, she covered her chest and said in pleasure, Ah! Then she fell to her knees and exclaimed, The peak of the Earth King realm! Is this the exchange the Grandmaster... At the battle, the Emperor of the 9 Tribulations said, Luo Wuqing, once I take care of your pathetic husband, why not marry me instead? I promise I'll treat you well. In a rage, he shouted, How dare you covet what's mine? Suddenly he charged at the Emperor. The Emperor was stunned and said, So fast! He punched his ugly face and roared, Die, you bastard! The Emperor flew like a bullet and crashed to the ground. He then said coldly, As for you two, there's no need for you to come either. As second brother and third brother trembled, he charged at him and declared, Activating Fist Dao, Overlord Flame Fist, Palm Dao, Wind and Thunder Divine Palm. He then unleashed his skill, supreme primordial palm. Second brother, struggling to block his attack, stammered, he knows so many techniques. Third brother shouted, Big brother, we can't hold on, hurry and save us. At that moment he used his skill, heavenly Second brother and third brother tried to block it, but they screamed in pain. Ah! Ah! Lin Feng, watching in shock, muttered, He just instantly killed 2 8 Tribulation Emperors. Has the Grandmaster's cultivation already reached the level of a 9 Tribulation Emperor? The Emperor of the 9 Tribulations suddenly charged toward him and roared, Second brother! Third brother! You dare kill my brothers! Unforgivable! I will take your life! He stood silently, then unsheathed his sword, which radiated golden energy, and declared, Anyone who harms my wife dies. A system prompt appeared, activating Sword Dao. Earth rank low-grade technique sword art shadow step. As he raised his sword, the Emperor suddenly attacked him. He countered with a slash. The Emperor scoffed. You think mere sword intense enough to challenge me? He smirked. Hey, do you really think what you think is what it seems? The Emperor, shocked and confused, asked, What do you mean? A system prompt appeared. System, activate all Daos. Music Dao. Fist Dao, activate. Palm Dao, engage. Wind and Thunder Dao, unleash. The Emperor, now in complete shock, gasped, 5 Daos? And with Alchemy Dao that makes 6. A single person mastering 6 Daos. That's unheard of. Impossible, absolutely impossible. As the Emperor watched in fear, another system prompt appeared. You've surprised the Emperor of the 9 Tribulations. The current martial arts damages doubled. The Emperor, sweating in fear, stammered, Who are you? With anger in his eyes, he said coldly, The dead don't need to know so much. He then unleashed simultaneous attacks with all of his Dao bodies. In his last moments, the Emperor thought to himself, No, this guy's way too strong. I need to get out of here. He quickly used his skill. Shadow step, he roared, trying to run. System, activate faith power. A system prompt appeared. Deploying faith power at 0.1% capacity. He shouted, Act. A beam of powerful energy shot toward the Emperor. It pierced his chest like a hot iron rod through butter, causing him to scream in agony. Ah! Clutching his wound, the Emperor growled, Damn brat, I'll remember this. He then opened a portal and escaped. He muttered, 3 emperors came just to steal my refined pills. Whatever, there's no need to chase a desperate foe. I should check on my wife first. Check in on Luo Wuqing. She coughed in pain. He rushed to her side. Wife, what's wrong? Her voice weakened as she said, My palm, it was poisoned. I was careless. Her beautiful, soft chest pulsed with poison. Worried, he held her gently in his arms. Wife? Lin Feng, examining her condition, said, The black auras surging like vengeful spirits. Grandmaster, the Empress has been afflicted with wraith poison. He, confused, asked, Wraith poison? Lin Feng replied, I happen to have the antidote. She'll recover within half an hour after taking it. He tossed the pill and he caught it, saying, Without hesitation, he gave the pill to her. Lin Feng suddenly spoke. Grandmaster, he asked, What is it? Lin Feng knelt on one knee and said firmly, Please accept me as your disciple. From now on, Lin Feng's willing to serve you loyally no matter what. He simply refused. Ling Feng said, Even though I'm the medicine emperor, I've never been able to comprehend the Tao of alchemy. Ancestor, you've already attained sainthood in the Tao of alchemy. I hope you can put aside past grudges and guide me. He carried her and said, You're already very strong. I cannot teach you. He then thought, Once the saint-level alchemy experience card expires, how can I still be considered a saint? At best, I'll just be a beginner. Ling Feng said, Ancestor, you don't have to spare my pride. I know I'm dull-witted, and perhaps you disdain teaching me, but I'll continue striving until you willingly accept me as your... He looked back and said, Do as you please. I'll take my wife back to the Heavenly Demon sect first. As he prepared to leave, he hovered in the air. Suddenly, he shot into the sky like a speeding comet. A few moments later, holy pool of the heavenly demon sect. He and she arrived. He gently placed her on a stone bed. A system prompt appeared. The boundary exchange cards expired. The effects have been nullified. Another followed, reverting everything to its original state. Suddenly he felt weak in his knees. He dropped to the ground and groaned. Ah! He reached out telepathically to the Queen Mother of the West. Ancestor? Just now my power returned. Did something happen on your end? Queen Mother of the West, I'll explain the details to you later. Thank you. Meanwhile she weakened, her body covered in sweat as she gasped for breath. Her chest rose and fell heavily from the poison. He frowned. Strange, it's already been half an hour. Why hasn't my wife woken up yet? Could it be that Lin Feng... Her chest swelled unnaturally as the poison intensified. A system prompt appeared. Host, if it were an ordinary person, consuming the detoxifying immortal pill naturally waken within 30 minutes. Another followed. However, the Empress is no ordinary person. She possesses the sacred sun physique, which reacted with the poison. Therefore, even after taking the detoxifying immortal pill, it remains ineffective. His expression darkened. Sacred sun physique? Then how can it be cured? The system responded. Submerge the Empress in the pool water. Circulate spiritual energy to activate the traits of her sacred sun physique, and use the healing properties of the water to expel the poison. I see, he muttered. Last time my wife also treated my wounds here. He gently lifted her into his arms. Wife, bear with it a little longer. Her chest continued to swell from the poison. He carried her into the water, and as she floated, he watched closely. System will... Confirmed. Yes, host. Now you just need to wait. Healing energy immediately covered her entire body. Suddenly, she burst forth with even more radiant healing energy. He thought, this heaven-pattern divine pill wasn't easy to obtain. After taking, I should be able to break through to the Saint Emperor realm in one go. As she levitated in the pool water, another system prompt appeared. Hosts consumed 1,000 level faith power. Faith powers now automatically upgraded. A final notification followed. Current storage capacity, 10,000 level faith power. He reflected. Previously, after exchange in cultivation with the Queen Mother of the West, and with this 1,000 level faith, I could almost kill a 9 Tribulations Emperor instantly. If I'd had 10,000 level faith, he'd probably be reduced to dust. Unfortunately, he escaped. I still don't know who those 3 emperors truly are. By the way, system, what exactly is the sacred sun physique? A system prompt appeared. Host must discover that on your own. Suddenly she felt something stirring within her. Cough! Cough! A mist of poison escaped her tiny mouth. He immediately rushed to her side. Wife, you've finally woken up. She slowly opened her eyes, her gaze meeting his. Husband. She suddenly threw her arms around him. Have you been by my side this whole time? He and she leaped out of the water. He looked at her and said, Here, take off your dress. Her face flushed red. Shocked, she instinctively tried to cover her soft, ample chest. Wait, what are you trying to do? I just woke up, and my body hasn't recovered yet. Besides, this is the holy pool. How could we... He held her gently. I just want to check if you've got any external injuries. Her mind was in turmoil. Her heart pounded and she blushed in confusion. He leaned in slightly. What did you think I was going to do, wife? She stammered. I wasn't thinking anything. Into his deep, piercing eyes. He smirked. If my wife feels any discomfort, I'd be happy to help relieve her. He pulled her into a warm embrace. Her face turned even redder. Don't talk nonsense. Without another word, he leaped back into the water with her. Secret chamber. Righteous Path Alliance. The atmosphere was tense as the righteous Heaven Elder spoke. You said that by stepping onto the false god path, one could surpass the 9 Tribulations Emperor. But what exactly is the false god path? The void god emperor remained calm. Righteous heaven, don't be impatient. You'll know when the time comes. He shifted his gaze. The most important thing right now is dealing with the Queen Mother of the West and Luo Wuqing. He narrowed his eyes. Do you know that there's a true demon sealed within the holy land of Yaoqi? The righteous heaven elder's face darkened. What? A true demon? But demons belong to the demon clan. Could Yaoqi be colluding with them? The emperor let out a cold chuckle. Not exactly. Others may not know. But I discovered that for some reason the holy land of Yaoqi's been suppressing a true demon. If we release it, Yaoqi'll be doomed. The righteous heaven elder frowned. But you just said that the demon's sealed. Don't worry, the void god emperor interrupted. My 3 vice palace masters are already on their way, a 9 tribulations emperor and 2 8 tribulations emperors. With such a lineup, combined with the void god palace's demon summoning technique, who'd have time to bother with the heavenly demon sect? Suddenly, a figure staggered into the chamber and collapsed onto the ground. Thud! The void god emperor's eyes widened. Shen Shu, why are you so badly injured? Where are the other 2? Shen Shu trembled, blood dripping from his mouth. He struggled to speak, his body barely holding together. Through gritted teeth, the void god emperor muttered, They are dead. That brat Ning Tian's a 9 tribulations emperor. He killed 2nd brother and 3rd brother. The righteous heaven elder's eyes widened in disbelief. 2 dead, 1 injured, impossible. That kid's got some skill, but there's no way he's a 9 tribulations emperor. Shen Shu took a shaky breath. He not only achieved sainthood in the Tao of alchemy, but also mastered 5 different Taos. In the end, he even used a golden energy attack that severely wounded me. Sweat dripped down the righteous heaven elder's brow. Could he have been hiding his strength all along, playing the fool to deceive us? Was this all a ploy to trick the Righteous Path Alliance into taking action so he could wipe us out? The Void God Emperor's expression darkened. Put the plan against Yaoqi on hold until Shenju recovers. The righteous Heaven Elder hesitated before asking, What about the Heavenly Demon Sect? The Void God Emperor's eyes flickered with a dangerous light. It seems we'll have to use the Void God Palace's final resort. Thank you for watching Rebirth Genesis. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you will not miss the next chapter of the journey. Your support keeps this rebirth going strong. Until next time, stay sharp and keep rising beyond your limits.